The 2011 Great East Japan earthquake occurred at 2:46 p.m. on Friday, March 11. The 9.0 magnitude earthquake resulted in a tsunami, which killed more than 15,000 people. In the face of the greatest adversity ever encountered, Japan as a country rallied, with the massive martial arts community joining together in unity to help rebuild a shattered nation. Tonight, the likes of Inoue, Shinya Aoki, and other fighters gather for Dream Fight for Japan. The fighters' blood, sweat, tears and purses, along with proceeds from the live audience, go towards helping Japan recover from this devastating natural disaster. Mixed martial arts is about the fight, not always the fight for oneself, as in tonight, the fight to help rebuild a country, a people, a generation. Welcome to Dream Fight for Japan on HD Net. Hello everybody, I'm Michael Chavallo. Welcome to the Saitama Super Arena in Japan for maybe the most emotional night in Japanese mixed martial arts history, as the martial arts community tonight gathers together in the fight for Japan. I'm joined as always by my verbal sparring partner, Frank Trigan. Frank, the atmosphere here in Saitama Super Arena, very somber.
Very quiet. You know, fans are usually very quiet, but even more so this time.
And folks, we're about to receive a speech here from Kazushi Sakuraba to open up proceedings on Dream Fight for Japan.
3月11日の東日本大震災から約2ヶ月半が経ちました。今もなお被災をされて苦しんでいる方たちがたくさんいます。確かに復興までの道のりは果てしなく険しく、もしかしたら途中でつまずいてしまうこともあるかもしれません。それでもどんなに苦しくてもあらゆる困難と戦い続けなければいけません。僕たち格闘家にできることは、まさにリングの上で戦い、たとえ負けても立ち上がり、決して諦めない姿を見せることです。これは僕たち格闘家の使命です。今日の大会はファイトフォージャパンと銘打ち、最低限の電力と最低限の装飾で行います。ここにはリングと戦う選手たち、そしてお客さんしかいません。選手たちの諦めない姿にどうか精一杯のご声援をお願いします。全力で戦う選手と全力の応援、きっとそこから勇気や希望が生まれるんだと信じています。今日は最後まで楽しんでいってください。ファイトフォージャパン、頑張ろう日本。桜庭和志。
桜庭選手、ありがとうございました。今日ここに集まってくださっているファンの皆さん、そして日本中、いや世界中で格闘技を愛してくれているファンの皆さんと共に、私たちのチームは総合格闘技をご覧いただきます。皆様の応援どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
by Hans Thompson. And Hans, you've been in Tokyo over the last week. How do you gauge the atmosphere here leading up to this event?
You know, Michael, we were just discussing this before the event, but I am shocked at how little it seems to affect the overall feeling here in Tokyo. There's definitely, as we mentioned, some somberness and low electricity, but other than that, it seems like everyone's keeping on.
Well, a card like this should raise the spirits. Have a look at the names on here tonight, folks. Mitsuhiro, Ishida, Joachim, Hansen, Inoue versus Koichiro, Matsumoto, Inoue and Wiki Nishiura should be a classic. And folks, the Bantamweight tournament kicks off here tonight with 4 quarter-final matchups featuring the likes of Hideo Tokoro, Yoshiro Maeda, and Masakazu Imanari. And folks, earlier on tonight, we saw a quarter-final between Yasaku Nakamura, who replaced the injured Darren Uenoyama, against Atsushi Yamamoto. Nakamura landed some good strikes early. It started as a stand-up war, but Yamamoto got the takedowns and began chipping away from the top position with relentless ground and pound to eventually end the fight via TKO. which if you know the fights of Atsushi Yamamoto, it's very rare that he ends a fight via TKO. So this was a special on his record. Another quarterfinal contest saw Masakazu Imanari versus Keisuke Fujiwara. Imanari, the deep star, Fujiwara, the Zest bantamweight champion. This fight would end in a controversial decision. Imanari was always looking for his patented leap locks. Fujiwara landed some good punches on the feet, got in the top position on the ground, and as you see here also landed some good strikes from on top. Imanari continuing just to look for the submission throughout the entire contest. At the end of the day, it was Imanari via decision to move through to the semi-final round, but a decision that will be hotly contested and hotly debated. There was a lot of rivalry between these two men, with Imanari flying the deep banner and Fujiwara flying the Zest flag. In another quarterfinal matchup, Kenji Osawa and Takafumi Otsuka. Otsuka came in on a fan and media voted poll as the favourite of the tournament. He's the current deep champion, and he said that Osawa would be easy pickings. Well, it didn't end up like that at all. Osawa putting together combinations, in particular the body shots, throughout the first round. Otsuka spent a lot of energy looking for takedowns, but found the going very hard indeed, as Osawa consistently returned to his feet and banged up the body. And at the end, it was Osawa who took the win via split decision, earning himself also a berth in the semi-final round. And folks, that leaves us one more quarterfinal. Yoshiro Maeda taking on the janitor, Hideo Tokoro.
バンタム級ジャパングランプリ前田義郎 VS 所秀夫。
これより第2試合を行います。青コーナー170センチ61キロ所秀夫。赤コーナー170センチ60.5キロ前田
Fantastic ovation for both of these men for the right to fight Atsushi Yamamoto in the semi-finals of the Japanese Bantamweight Grand Prix, which do occur later tonight, folks. The final will be on a future show. But Maeda versus Tokoro, two highly experienced campaigners. Maeda brings in a 28-9-2 record, 14 wins by KO. Tokoro 27-23-1. An astonishing 17 wins by submission for the human octopus.
You know, great position. Both these guys, step it up. We'll see a lot of action coming out of this because both these guys want to get through the next round as quickly as possible. Neither one of the guys looking for a decision, but unfortunately, because of the way these guys fight, this first round is so long. It's a 10-minute round. They're going to try to hold their energy after the first 3 or 4 minutes, which is reverse what we see normally. Most guys try to conceive at the beginning and then go back hard foot at the end. These guys will come out hard and slow down as the round gets a little bit longer.
Well, both men are swinging for the knockout early here. As Frank said, trying to preserve their energy with the thought of moving into the semi-final round. And Tokoro showing some of that boxing prowess. He does train often, Hans, with Daisuke Naito.
Yeah, he's been known to go down there and just live at Naito's place and train, do nothing but train boxing.
And at the moment, both men, no kicking, no takedown attempt. It is all a boxing match. There's a high right round kick from Tokoro, the former janitor in the red trunks. And Maeda looking a little gassed here early on, trying to rally himself. And the crowd gets behind Yoshiro Maeda. Oh, this is a little bit strange. Did he hurt himself here? We recommence. Maeda in southpaw stance. Circles off to his left. Throws a left-hand cross and eats a right hand from Tokoro. Nicely done to the kisser. We almost went to ground for the first time. Overhand right from Maeda. As I said, 14 knockouts on his record, and now we go to canvas. This is where Tokoro likes to be, Fred.
Yeah, Tokoro's in better position. He likes these little weird spots, what we call scrambling spots, where he's able to be on top, got a hold of something, immediately rolls into it, got a nice Kimura coming in right now, lost it, but a perfect position change, armbar. Wow, he switched right into it with a triangle. If he chooses to switch into it, he can get a triangle as well.
Hideo Tokoro tying him up like a ball of twine. Don't forget, this is Tokoro's first time fighting at 61 kilograms, and he's looking good at it, Frank.
Yeah, he's had a lot of energy. He's able to step forward. He's able to make his position change like he's supposed to. Doesn't seem any worse for the wear at 61 kilos. I'm pretty impressed.
Hans, who are the crowd favoring here, do you feel? Is it Tokoro or Maeda who's the more popular?
You know, I think that there's a faction for each of these guys, but it's definitely divided because these guys really were going at each other verbally before this fight.
Maeda, who came out yesterday at the press conference and said he feels that Tokoro is taking him lightly by choosing to fight him in the first round. Certainly looking to prove a point here in this quarterfinal match.
There's kind of a lot of history here too between these two guys.
Stiff jab from Tokoro. There's the right cross again. He's landed it at least 5 times in the opening 3 minutes of this fight. High right round kick. Tokoro's striking is looking so solid here tonight, Frank.
It looks great. He's turning his hips. He's snapping right through, but you have to give credit to Maeda. Look how tough he is. He's taking the head kick. He's taking 4 or 5 straight right hands right to the mouth and keeps coming forward. No worse for the wear, at least to this point.
One of these two men will face Atsushi Yamamoto in the semi-final round, keeping in mind that Maeda has a win over Yamamoto on his record. Tokoro moving nicely, bouncing around the balls of his feet. Controlling centering right now. You can see some reddening around the right eye of Maeda from those tagging jabs of Tokoro. Confidence just oozing here on Hideo Tokoro. Man from Nagoya, who's beaten the likes of Hoyle Gracie. Youngman Kim fought Hoist Gracie to a draw. Got to say, Hans, once again, looking very comfortable at this weight. He's Hideo Tokoro.
Yeah, you know, Tokoro is the consummate professional. He's a guy who was considered basically just a grappler back in the day, but went and knew what his weak points were, and he strengthened them.
Spinning back fist. And then he's buckled on Maeda. Didn't actually connect with the fist proper there, more so with the outside of the wrist, Frank, but it was effective. And a head clash against the ropes, it looks like.
Definitely not intentional, just, you know, heat of the moment, stepping in, trying to close the distance for a quick takedown and caught him in the mouth instead with his forehead instead of in his chest. He cut himself, though, in the process. He's got a little cut now. See the replay, comes in, he's stepping in.
Ooh.
Oh, well, you know what? I got to be honest with you. He did.
Well, he led with his head, didn't he?
Yeah, his hands went back. His hands went back as his face came forward. So, you know, unfortunately, yeah, that's a, I don't know. I got to kind of, my personal opinion is that was an intentional headbutt. That's my personal opinion. Don't, you know, I'm not the ref, I'm not the judges, but I'm saying that was intentional. He definitely dropped his hands back and let in with his face.
Maeda okay to go on here.
It wasn't smart on Tokoro's, you know, side though, because he did cut his eyebrow open doing that. You know, he got the right side of his eyebrows a little cut open now. We're going to see if it opens up further in this round.
Almost halfway through this opening round, 10-minute marathon round the first, 5 minute the second if we get to it. And Tokoro again, nice with the stiff jab, the straight right cross, and he gets tagged from Maeda. Now can Maeda do some damage on the ground? Top position here for Maeda.
Look how smooth Tokoro is there. Getting his legs right back inside, rolling right under, using almost no energy at all to get himself in the guard and try to get held in here. But now he's got the position, he's got to let go and start moving. All he's going to do in this position is keep getting hit. So he's got to let his legs go, let his hands go, and start shifting his space.
Yoshiro Maeda, the former featherweight king of Pancrase. How he'd love to become the bantamweight king of Dream. Hammer fist strikes inside the closed guard here of Hideo Tokoro. We are now halfway through the first round.
I love these opening round, 10-minute rounds, especially as a fighter. It helped me so much more because I was able to continue the pace and not give that guy a break because I was always in great shape when I fight these 10-minute rounds. You know, but if you're in suspect shape or questionable shape, you're not going to make it because 5 minutes is totally different than 10 minutes. It completely changes your game plan.
And here, remember, if they win, they got to fight another 10 and 5 too.
Yeah. So you want to, these guys, if they're smart, my first goal is to try to get a submission or knockout as quickly as possible. And that first round will be done because we got to fight again, another full fight. It's just too much going on at one time.
Good shot there at the cut over the right eye of Hideo Tokoro. It's in a very bad position, as Frank said earlier, between the eyebrow and the eyelid. And indeed, if Maeda goes after it, he could cause the blood to run into that right eye, which would see the physician step up and take a look. Maeda just posing a little here, trying to sucker Tokoro in where he can counter him. But I don't know if Tokoro's going to be baited by anything Maeda does here. Two very experienced campaigners. between them over 55 fights combined.
Very patient. Tokoro, step back a little bit instead of, trying to sit behind a jab and get in there quick and throw a bunch of punches and get caught in a counter. He sat back and waited.
Beautiful head movement there from Tokoro, and he countered with a straight right cross.
His boxing's gotten so much better in the last year alone, even from how much he jumped up from being just a straight grappler, a couple years ago. Now his boxing is so much better than it was even when we saw him fight again, almost a year ago.
High right round kick from Tokoro. A real inspiration story in the game of mixed martial arts. The former janitor who worked odd jobs to make ends meet when he was getting started as a fighter. Now a true superstar of Japanese mixed martial arts. High left round kick there off the lead leg, not switching up either. Great dexterity from Tokoro. 3 minutes remains in the first round. Looping uppercut, high knee from Maeda. Needed to pull the head down a little more, get that tie clinch locked around the back of the neck. Jab falls short for Tokoro. Ooh, round kick, just slammed it under the left armpit, upper rib cage, and there's the right cross. Tokoro striking once again, just proving a winning formula here in the first round. And look at the reddening on the chest, and especially the right side of the face there of Maeda. Tokoro has really lit him up here, Frank.
Yeah, he's connected with most of his strikes. I'd be interested to see what the punch combo, contact ratio is. He's hitting him with almost everything that he throws. Unfortunately, he's only throwing one punch at a time or one kick at a time. If he started throwing some combos, I think he would end this fight a lot earlier.
Tokoro just walking him down. Maeda backwards on flat-footedness, and that's what's going to happen to you if you're flat-footed walking back. You're going to eat a straight right cross from Tokoro.
Tokoro's corner there telling him just go after him. His hands are down.
Is Maeda gassed here, Frank?
He's slowed way down. He doesn't have any. Everything he's doing now is antics to try to get him, Tokoro to bait in. I think Maeda is really falling apart as far as shape goes. I think he hasn't trained as hard as he should have for this fight. He's not ready to keep this pace up.
To me, Frank, it seems to be that there's no consistency to the game plan here of Maeda, even from the opening bell.
No, it was all throw everything to the wind, throw caution to the wind, and try to catch him with a quick knockout. If that didn't work, now he's just trying to bait him in and looking for something to happen, looking for Tokoro to make some kind of mistake.
I think there is too an element here that both these guys knew that they had to come out and give an exciting fight. You saw Maeda there fooling around a little bit, doing some imitations of other famous Japanese fighters.
Well, there's a point where, showmanship and selling a fight, what have you, there's also a point where you got to win. I mean, he's got to know right now he's getting beat, the first, there's only a minute left in this round. He knows he's lost the first 9 minutes.
Tokoro just in control here with under a minute remaining in this first round. Some blood coming from the nose of Tokoro, nothing too serious though. Look how he cuts off the ring nicely. Steps across 3 times to his left, takes an inside leg kick, straight right hand down the center corridor. Tie clinch attempt there from Maeda. He went for the high knee, going for the meet and greet, couldn't connect though. Just slipping under the momentum of his left hook there, Tokoro. Maeda, flat-footed. Tokoro looking for the rear leg round kick perhaps. Ooh, he throws a knee and almost folds him in half like a piano accordion. Pulls guard, nicely done. He's got the arm locked in there, Frank.
It's nice and tight. He's got the triangle locked in. Let's see if he can finish it now. He's got to get that arm across, pull the head down a little bit. He's a little bit too square. See, he's right in front of him. He's got to get himself turned off the side a little bit more. If he can move himself to his left a little bit and get to a 90-degree angle, he can finish this triangle off relatively easy.
And there it is, into the first round of action. We go to the towels, and really, Frank, if you were scoring this round by round, which our judges aren't, they're scoring on an overall fight, but you'd have to go an easy 10-9er for Tokoro.
Yeah, Tokoro definitely dominated the round. He was more aggressive. He had better position. He kept Maeda against the ropes for the most of it, and really controlled the position. Anytime he went to the ground, the one time he did get taken down, he ended up immediately getting back up to his feet and sweeping out. He's just got his boxing skill is so much better, Tokoro's is than Maeda's. He's definitely got the space than Maeda does. And he's really stepping in the pocket when he needs to and getting out of the way. He's got a much better head motion this time around than anything else. So he's not getting hit as much as he used to in the past.
Uppercut there from Maeda, one of the best punches of the round from him. He looked to pull the head down into the clinch and knee, but unsuccessful. Pulling guard here right towards the end of the round. Hideo Tokoro with about 20 seconds remaining. Tokoro looking relaxed, choosing to sit between rounds. Maeda standing up. We have 5 more minutes remaining in this fight. What is the corner telling Maeda to do here, Hans?
I only heard Maeda there. He just said, I'm fine, I got this guy.
There's a point where the corner's got to step in and go, look, man, what you're doing right now is great. It's sold the fight. We got to win this fight. Let's get after this round. We got to try and finish this fight off because you're in a position where you lost that first 10-minute round. Let's see what happens. Hopefully he gets smart and steps through.
So we are ready for the second round of action. Hideo Tokoro has gone 4-6 in his last 10, 2-3 in his last 5. Comes off that win over Watanabe at Dynamite here at Saitama Super Arena. Maeda 4-6 also in his last 10, 3-2 in his last 5. Coming off a win over Masanori Kanahara. And just a groin shot to Maeda to open up the second round. He's been in a war, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been tied up and tucked down. He's getting beat up. Now he's got punched in the groin. So it's a little bit of a problem, you know. He's, I think part of the problem, too, that happened in the first round, you know, and it was just a straight stomach shot that got blocked off and re-angled, you know, but there, you know, a lot of the antics he was doing in the beginning of the first round, you know, after that first 2.5-minute melee, it kind of took a lot of energy out of him. He's bouncing around and, you know, exposing his back to Tokoro and kind of running around, his hands are down. A lot of that takes a lot of energy out of you. So now when you get a little glancing blow like this right to your cup, it's going to take a lot more energy to get back up on your feet. So we might see an extended break here.
Maeda, who was somewhat of a revelation at the start of his pro career, fighting Pancrase deep. He went on a spree of 13-0-1 between 2003 and 2005 before his first ever loss, which was his Pride debut at Bushido 7 back on May 22, 2005 against Charles Bennett, who knocked him out in 1 round. And there you see a shot, the right hand to the groin. Not often you see a right hand to the old John Smalls.
It was just a straight shot. I mean, just amazing. And, you know, like I said, what happens is the guys, you go to block a guy's arm, and it just reroutes itself on the way down. But Tokoro was putting all his weight behind it at the same time, too. When I said earlier it was a glancing blow, it was dead on the cup, and he dropped all of his weight behind it because he was trying to go right to the stomach. You know, it's tough to, you know, to pull a punch when you've already committed to the fullness of it.
Are we going to get the usual dream feel?
Looks like they're setting up the towel tent.
It's time to peek downstairs and check out the berries. It is great to see our first dream groin shot of 2011.
How I've missed these.
How we have missed them after a big 2010 that was highlighted by, boys, you've got to remember the great groin shot of 2010. Mighty Mo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mighty
That's
Mo.
right. Wow, great memory.
I'm also partial to when Leo Santos got.
Ooh, the Sengoku. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Marlon Sandro and Leo Santos about that, and Marlon was just giving him a lot of mess about how much he enjoyed the doctor examination.
Although that was the strangest one I've seen for quite a while, Frankie. Right hand to the scrotal area. Not often you see that. Usually it's a knee or an inside thigh kick timed wrong, but a straight right hand dropping.
Well, you know, he was dipping over, you know, because he sold it earlier where he's going to try and shoot on him. So you obviously think that Maeda would spall out and get caught in the chest with that punch. So he lowered his level, went to hit him in the body, and he just got his arm inside of it and blocked it downward. And as a result, he's trying to block that punch. He got caught in John Smalls. Did I say that right? John Smalls?
John Smalls.
First time I've used that last year. It's all because of you, Michael. John Smalls.
Tokoro is certainly ready to go. He is in control of this fight. There is still plenty of time remaining for Maeda to turn the tide. You've got to wonder now, though, after suffering an accidental headbutt earlier, and now a second groin strike, and looking fatigued, how much more he's got left in the tank. But he's a warrior, Hans, always has been.
Well, this is prime time now for him.
He's relying on his toughness, it looks like. We'll see.
Well, you know, I'm sorry I didn't step into you, but this is the perfect time then for something dramatic to happen from either side.
Takedown, and Maeda is grimacing.
Yeah.
Towel thrown
in. The groin shot just took its effect.
It looked like Tokoro's shoulder or head maybe clashed with his groin again on the takedown.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a strange shot. I said this is when something dramatic is going to happen when both guys are tired, but I wasn't expecting anything like that. That's a strange TKO.
You know, Maeda barely made it back in there. He was limping back in there. I think he just got jostled a little bit, and that was all he could take.
Tell you what though, not the worst groin strike we've seen so far in 2011. That occurred in Lyon on the It's Showtime fights we saw here on HD Net. In a fight where Shahid fought Giorgio Petrosian and got kicked so hard that his testicles twisted around each other.
Oh, he had a testicle torsion. Yeah, that's, for those of you at home, the reason why you need to wear a cup even when you're grappling and when you don't think you need to get hit in the groin, you should always have one on, because if you get that, that's pretty much a surgery, immediate. There's nothing like having a surgery to your scrotum.
Tokoro, the human octopus, is always looking for the submission. There's the accidental head clash from earlier on that Frank declared as deliberate. And there's the shot to the John Smalls. Oof, straight right hand, smack bang to the gonads. Here's the takedown.
Yeah, look like...
And the end of the fight, the corner throwing in the towel. You see the big grimace of pain on the face there of Maeda.
Yeah, it did. Hans was correct. It looked like his shoulder got in there and popped it. And, you know, he had a grimace and pull out of the fight at that point.
More action to come from Dream Fight for Japan.
Dream Featherweight. Ishida Mitsuhiro vs. Joachim Hansen.
And it's time for what should be a fantastic matchup. Joachim Hansen versus Mitsuhiro Ishida. Hansen 21-10 and 1, 7 wins by knockout, 7 by submission.
168センチ、65キロ、石田光弘。
The brilliant wrestling of Mitsuhiro Ishida, the Endless Warrior, 26-1 record. 17 of his 27 fights have gone the distance. He's won 15 times by decision. First round 10 minutes long, second round 5 minutes long. On paper, Frank, a fantastic matchup here.
You know, Hansen's got that great style of bang you out, put you on your butt with his strikes, and Ishida's got that style of slow it down, control the pace with his wrestling and ground and pound you. Who can implement their game plan quicker is going to be the ones who are going to win this fight.
Michael Chavello, Frank Trigg, Hans Thompson with you inside thigh kick from Ishida. A lot of movement from him early on. Both men in southpaw stance here. Ishida comes in back-to-back wins over Akiyo, Wiki Nishiura at Dream 16 and Daiki Hata at Dream 15. Good cutting off the ring here.
Smart by Hansen. You know, staying in front, trying to cut the ring off, trying to keep in front, but Ishida's doing a great job of maneuvering out of the way, getting in and getting out, not getting hit solid, at least as of yet.
Hansen also comes in, back-to-back wins. Sami Aziz at Superior Challenge 6 over in Sweden. And before that, the win over Hideo Tokoro by a triangle choke and Dream 16. Ishida, beautiful right hand, just clipped him on the jaw. Nicely done, good extension, good inside thigh kick. Just battering up that lateralis muscle. Another hooking right hand and again from Ishida. These two men are throwing the heavy artillery early, Frank.
You know, Hansen's got to be careful. He obviously wasn't expecting to have any kind of punches coming out from Ishida, and he's been hit 3 or 4 different times with different strikes. He's got to keep his hands up a little bit better. Now we're on the ground. He is kind of on top right now, Hansen is, but Ishida's got control of his head. It's going to be a switch position where she's going to end up on top here in a second. Oh.
Hansen just sliding down the back. Ishida back inside the guard here. Ishida is so powerful from this top position on the ground, Frank.
Wow, Hansen almost made me an idiot because I thought for sure he was going to be able to get that body triangle in there from the top side. If it wasn't for Ishida's strength to shake him off, he would have been caught in a body triangle and flat on his stomach. Good control of the wrist right here. He's got to get his knee inside because Ishida, if you let Ishida, because of his height, let him deep inside you, you'll never get him away from you. He's so small, compact, and strong. He's got to get some space right now.
Ishida posting up here. Needs to get some ground and pound. You see the foot on hips from Joachim Hansen. What's the popularity levels these days of Ishida here in Japan, Hans?
Well, I think it's notable that Joachim Hansen's one of the only foreign fighters on this card that they decided to invite to show that that Japanese fighting spirit. But Ishida also, you know, he's a guy who's part of this kind of movement in Japanese MMA to show that they can compete with foreign fighters, particularly wrestlers. You notice a lot of wrestlers coming up in Japan because they've identified that as a weakness that needs to be addressed.
As of late, the Japanese stars crossing over to America haven't been faring very well. You know, it's been unfortunate because these guys are really good fighters. They're just are a half a step behind their components, at least right now.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, Frank. I think that's almost a secondary theme in Japanese MMA right now, besides the rebuilding, is how can we possibly beat these foreign fighters?
Omoplata here from Joachim Hansen. Shoulder lock off of his back.
He's across the face. Looks like he's trying to switch to a go-go plata here. He's got to switch his foot inside. Ishida doing a good job of tucking his head back underneath again, getting out of it. That was all neck and head strength right there.
Yeah, I feel like that's a missed opportunity for Joachim there. When he figured out he couldn't get the submission there, I feel like he should have pushed off because Ishida's pulling away from him there. But he lets him climb back in and you know, keep holding him down like you mentioned.
Yeah, I don't like this position really for Hansen. Of course, the ref's gonna bring him back up now. It saves out, but Hansen's not really good. He's active off his back, but he's gonna finish you from his back. He needs to get back to his feet where he's got a striking power.
Especially a guy like Ishida, it's so tough to finish from that position.
Ishida, who really did shoot to fame during his Pride days, made his Pride debut at Bushido 10, April 2006, went 4-1 in Pride. And you see Hansen just taking the back here.
Oh, great position, stood right back up to his feet, old wrestling style.
Oh, suplex! And Hansen electrifying the crowd, performing a move that we would expect Ishida to do.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was amazed that he was able to pick Ishida up in there because Ishida should have known that was coming. Was able to drop his weight down. He got the bi triangle, and now it's not all the way deep. You see his toes hanging out a little bit. He's got to get all the way to the ankle to make sure it's tight. Guy like Ishida will shake himself out of it. There we go.
Armbar from Hansen. What a submission repertoire here on Joachim Hansen. He is putting on a show in the first round, almost halfway through it. Hammer fist strikes to the side of the head here. Ishida surviving, back inside the guard, triangle, locks it in.
That's incredible. Hansen's definitely improved his submission game. That's his third submission attempt in 35 seconds, and he's gotten almost every single one of those for Ishida's strength and athletic ability to pop out.
Joachim Hansen. More submissions than a dominatrix. 4 minutes 50 remaining here in the first. This is a good fight.
Well, not more submissions than my dominatrix.
Yeah, no one's that many. Throws the legs up again, looking for that left arm of Ishida. Ishida, a hammer fist strike to the sternum. The movement of the hips, the legs of Joachim Hansen off his back is so impressive, Frank.
He's doing such a much better job. We didn't see that the first time he was down. He was just kind of striking, kind of laying around. Now he's trying to get the submissions, tie up his arms, punch in the middle of it, and trying to change positions a lot better.
I don't think there's anybody in MMA that hits harder off of their back than Joachim Hansen either, guys.
An impressive specimen indeed, Hellboy. He loves chewing tobacco. Been on the bus ride back to the hotel with him a few times, and he sits there for 20 minutes and rolls a ball of tobacco, sits it between his lip and his teeth, and spits it into a cup.
It's about the size of like a baseball.
Yeah. Hammer fist strike from Ishida, but he still can't get those clean blows he wants because Hansen's guard is so active, Frank.
Yeah, now he's starting to get a little bit. See, once Hansen stopped moving, all of a sudden he's able to start striking him. So that just shows you, if you guys are new to the sport at home, the more movement you have on the bottom, the less likely you are to get punched in the face. Let's see if Ishida's going to be paying the favor with the back suplex.
Hansen, who's had a lot of success in submission grappling tournaments during his career as well. Winner of the Finnish Open, the Scandinavian Open, the Bad Boy Cup, the Feng Shamrock Invitational, King of the Beach. Knees to the hamstring area here from Ishida. Will he try a suplex now? Where's Miyata when we need him?
Exactly.
Suplex! No.
Too short.
Not happening, stuffed it. Well done from Hansen. You see Ishida trying to get Hansen onto his back. He may attempt another suplex here.
You know, Joachim was talking about how he's worked on his wrestling, and I think it's really apparent here. I don't know what kind of odds you could have gotten on him suplexing Ishida and Ishida being unable to suplex Hansen.
You know, if you look at it, to suplex somebody, your hips have to be lower than theirs. And Ishida, naturally, his hips are lower than yours because of his height ability. He should be able to pick Hansen up, no problem.
A nice little wrestling switch there, too.
Yeah, he's actually spent some time, not just with wrestling, not just, you know, international wrestling, Olympic style wrestling. He's done some folk style, what we call it here in America. Folk style wrestling, collegiate style wrestling, where he's learned how to do some switches and some, you know, turnover and some other stuff that really you don't learn in the international circuit.
It's interesting to see a guy develop his game this much, this late in his career. You know, Joachim's been around the block a few times. He's acknowledged himself. He's getting up there in years, but he's still adding new tricks to his game.
Very smart. Very crafty.
Hansen, 32 years old, made his Pro MMA debut back in 1999. Good sportsmanship here.
Just had a birthday, actually, on the 26th it was?
Vince is not that old, man. He's only 32. He's fine. He's got, you know, at least 10 more years left to fight.
He's been through some wars, though.
Inside thigh kick from Ishida. Hansen, who after that disastrous 3-fight losing streak where he lost to Aoki, Bibiano Fernandez, and Hiroyuki Takaya, he's currently running a 2-fight streak. They're looking to make it 3 in a row, a hat trick. And doing a very good job with 1 minute 25 remaining here in the first of 2. Ooh, knee to the top of the noggin there from Ishida, trying to open up a money box. And again, look how busy Hansen is. He's just so slick, Frank.
Predictably, Ishida's corner telling him, if you're going to ground and pound him, be careful with it there, because Joachim's obviously showing some craftiness from the bottom here.
Hansen, who's been one of the main Dream fighters since Dream began back on March 15, 2008. Competed in Dream 1, 3, 5, 11, 13, 14, 16, and here tonight at Dream Fight for Japan.
Yeah, I mean, he's as much of a symbol of Dream as any of the Japanese fighters. It's an interesting phenomenon.
And Hans, we must clarify as well here, this is not Dream 17, this is officially Dream Fight for Japan.
Yes, sir. Dream 17 is supposed to go down in July here, and that could be a result of some of the controversy over the naming.
Foot on hips here from Joachim Hansen. 20 seconds on the clock. There'll be a chance for both men to go back to the corner, reset themselves, get some instructions from their teams. As Ishida looks for a little bit of final ground and pound here. And Hansen just momentarily locking up that dangerous right hand. Hansen looking for a way back to his feet, and he finds it. Needed the hamstring from Ishida. There'll be no chance for a suplex into the first round. And what a round it was for Joachim Hansen. More when we return, folks, to the Saitama Super Arena. Dream Fight for Japan. We are ready for round number 2. Joachim Hansen and Ishida. What a first round. Hansen was so impressive, Frank.
You know, he kept the pace. He was able to step forward. He got out of the way most of the times, but right at the beginning, he was worried about Ishida's wrestling ability. He got hit in the head very quickly. But then, like Hans said earlier, there's no way we could have picked the book on this and try to get a line on whether or not, you know, Joachim Hansen was going to be able to take Ishida with a suplex to the ground. And then his submission game is so much improved. Even though he's won all those grappling tournaments, we really haven't seen that many submissions in his fight repertoire as of late, just because he's been hitting guys so hard in the head. He's kind of been sticking with his #1 love. Now, obviously, he's going to submission game. Hansen definitely dominated that first round. Let's see what happens with the second round, because remember over here, it's not, they judge the entire fight, not just round by round. So things could change coming here in the second round, and we could see Ishida try to pull it off.
Saitama Super Arena in Japan, always a lovely venue. Ishida glancing once more towards his corner, giving the nod. 5 minutes remains. If you were going to score round by round, you'd have to go the first round to Joachim Hansen, Frank.
Yeah, for sure. 10-9 for sure, Joachim Hansen. He had more submission attempts, actually had more takedowns in that round as well, and had better striking on his feet. Even though Ishida did hold his own on his feet with the striking, he did cut up Hansen a little bit across the nose with that overhand right he threw earlier, but No, not enough to win the round for sure.
Jabbing from Hansen, throws the cross, that being the left hand of the southpaw. Checks the inside leg kick, so Ishida goes to the outside lead thigh. Hansen just walking him down here, forcing Ishida to the outside, where Ishida's got to rely on that lateral footwork. You see Ishida drifting off to his left as he gets a single leg takedown. Nicely done there.
Yeah, that's the Ishida I was expecting this fight. A lot of movement, little peppering jabs, get you thinking he's going to hit you in the head and take it and do a bunch of takedowns. He didn't do that the first round at all. Coming in the second round, he's trying to stick to it a little bit better, but I think it might not be enough because how active we've seen Hansen's guarding the bottom. I don't think Ishida's going to be able to hold him down and get his traditional ground and pound off.
That being a huge difference in Japan, too, is that you can win a fight off of your back if you're active, if you're looking to finish the fight.
It's seemingly all for Ishida to do here. Hansen just not allowing the fists to really get free here. Now the left hand is free. A couple of shots to the side of the head, but nothing too effective for Ishida. Getting a little close to that rope. Ishida takes the back here.
Hansen did a great job of getting to his feet. Every time there's a position change, he's able to get to his knees, get the turtle position, and stand up.
Using those knees as he did in the first round to the hamstring and outside thigh as Ishida. Hansen turns back into him. Single leg from Ishida, gets him on his backside again.
Oh, Hansen, we're looking right for a choke. He jumped right into it. So Ishida's backing out. He's not able to drive in on that single leg, and he needs to finish it because he's got his head caught.
Ishida out of there now. 1 foot through the ropes for Hansen. The officials may stop this in a moment, and they do.
Can see the edge of Tatsuya Kawajiri there in the corner. Wearing a very sharp hat.
I was going to say it's a very stylish hat.
Ishida on his bike again, pedaling around the ring, staying out of range of Hansen's left hand, drifting off to his own left. And Hansen trying to walk him down here. 2 minutes 20 remaining in the final round. A hook as Ishida latches onto the single leg again. Hansen not going down this time.
Wow. Good defense on Hansen's part to try to reverse and take the back of Ishida with that takedown. Ishida's smart though. Immediately knew what was happening, turned into it, got the double leg, but now he's having a lot of energy trying to finish this.
You can hear both men breathing in the corner. Hansen back to his feet. Referee calling for action. And Ishida puts him down on the canvas again. Immediately, Hansen looks to get back to his feet once more. What does Ishida do from here, Frank?
He's got to keep kneeing those back of those legs. He's got to keep trying to beat up those legs a little bit from behind. And then the moment that Hansen turns into him to try to go to the switch, whatever, just drive forward and drop him right on his, try to drop him right on his back. She's in a real tough spot because in my mind, he's lost his fight so far. He's got 1:15 left. He's really got to pick up the pace and try to find some way to...
Oh, right hand from Hansen came close. If the glove had another coat of paint on it, he may have connected cleanly.
Instead, Ishida does a great job of dipping down and getting back to his double leg, but he's not able to do anything once he's on top here.
Very, very tough to win decisions in Japan by takedowns and top control.
1 foot on hips here. Hansen on his back. Ishida inside the guard. 45 seconds remaining. Second and final round. Referee says too close to the ropes. We'll recommence them from the same position they were in. Open guard of Joachim Hansen. His time slipping away from Ishida, Frank.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's not enough time left now. He doesn't really have a style that he's a decision-making style. He beats you up for 3 rounds, or in this case 2 rounds. He doesn't have that style where he's gonna get a submission or get a TKO or get a KO. He's just going to hold you down and try to beat you up, and Hansen's just too active on the bottom to really get that position in.
Hansen locking the shoulder up again, the omoplata, which he used in the first round and came close to turning into a gogoplata. Few seconds remaining, triangle at the end from Hansen, and that's it. What a fantastic fight, though. From the opening bell to the end, 15 minutes of fighting, never a dull moment, Frank.
You know, Hansen definitely did a great job of improving his wrestling, improving his submission game. He really offset Ishida. There was a little bit of a scary point at the very beginning of the first round where Ishida hit Hansen 3 or 4 different times with different punches very cleanly, because Hansen was expecting a takedown game like we're seeing here with that nice, quick, devastating single, and just really didn't get to it quick enough. Hansen got hit a little bit in the first round, but other than that, Hansen really dominated this entire fight, controlled the pace, controlled where the fight was going, and even when he did get taken down, as we saw later in the second round, he immediately was being extremely active, looking for submissions and trying to get back to his feet as quickly as possible.
Fantastic sportsmanship between two veterans who knew each other's game plans very well, although I do think that Hansen brought a lot more into his repertoire than we expected and maybe even Ishida expected.
Yeah, you know, really Hansen is like we said, he stepped up his game, and you know, he is 32 years old, and he has been fighting since '99. It's a long time for a fighter to be in the sport. He definitely is as long as he's been in the sport, he still finds a way to give us new tricks.
First judge for Hansen. Second judge for Ishida.
Yoachim.
And Joachim Hansen has done it by a split decision. Career victory number 22 for Joachim Hellboy Hansen. And one of the most impressive victories. For Ishida, it is back to the drawing board. And for Joachim Hansen, as I said, one of the most impressive performances for the former Dream Champion. He described Ishida as being one-dimensional in the pre-fight press conference. And at certain times tonight, he did show that Ishida didn't have too many options.
No, he's either going to take it down and hold you and beat you up a little bit. Otherwise, if you can keep moving, keep hitting him, and keep active on the bottom, there's not much that Ishida can do to you. He just hasn't improved his style enough yet to be able to dominate a guy or continue with a guy that's got that many submission attempts.
Thank you, Ishida. Very tough fight. I'm very, very tired.
石田選手、厳しい試合ありがとうございました。とっても疲れました。
I want to dedicate this victory and fight to Go Maeda, who was born 25th of May, and he is a symbol of strength reborn. Stay strong, Japan.
5月25日に生まれた前田剛選手にこの試合とこの勝利を捧げます。前田さんは日本の再生、それから強さのシンボルだと思っています。
ありがとうございました。皆様、ヨアキム・ハンセン選手に今の盛大な拍手をお願いします。
Great on the microphone as always. They love him here in Japan and indeed around the world. Folks, more action still to come from the Saitama Super Arena in Japan. You're watching Dream Fight for Japan, a highly emotional night in the history of Japanese mixed martial arts here on HDNet.
Takeshi vs. Matsumoto Koichiro.
Dream Fight for Japan continues here at the Saitama Super Arena. Leon Takeshi and Koichiro Matsumoto.
Matsumoto Koichiro!
Matsumoto 12-2 record, the current deep featherweight champion.
173センチ、65キロ。
Leon Takeshi, 19-5 record, former Shuto Pacific Rim lightweight champion and two-time former Shuto lightweight champion. He's never been finished in mixed martial arts. A 19-5 record, gave himself the nickname Lion, which they pronounce as Leon here in Japan, to give himself courage since he feels he lacked heart as an amateur. Michael Chavello, Frank Trigg, and the Hanslater Hans Thompson with you. It is Koichiro Matsumoto in the red and black, with what looks like a WWE logo there on the top of his trunks.
Yeah, it does. Just a fan, or are they one of his sponsors?
Leon Takeshi in the black and white, as Matsumoto looks for the inside thigh kick early there. Both men just seeing what each other has to offer. A lot of posturing so far in the first 30 seconds. Who will throw the first salvo of the contest? Nice check there from Leon Takeshi. Oh, right hand from Matsumoto. He dropped in momentarily. Uppercut almost took out a low-flying aircraft. And that's more like it, the heavy artillery frag.
Yeah, he finally jumped in. Matsumoto jumped in, almost left his feet for that right hand to put him on the canvas, but it tapped off the top of Inoue's forehead, so it didn't knock him out as much as it did just knock him down. Now let's see if he adjusts his style a little bit and starts throwing some more of himself. To me, Leon's being a little patient, a little too patient. He needs to start at least getting behind the jab or getting his front kicks out there to force Matsumoto to have to step back a little bit.
Leon Takeshi, who trains at Shooting Gym Yokohama with Wiki Akiyo Nishiura. And still a lot of posturing here. Takeshi's got to start throwing. Checks the inside thigh kick. He's got a good check off that lead leg, has Leon Takeshi. But he's not countering. Nothing is indeed scored for him so far. There's one. Outside thigh kick to the lead leg. Straight right hand. He led with the right. Should have set it up for the jab, perhaps, because the hands of Matsumoto are very low, Frank.
Yeah, extremely low. And that's part of the problem, too, is that when he punches, they come from underneath your vision. You can't see him coming at you, but it's also very easy to hit him in the head. He just has to get some combos going.
Not only that, but as you saw there, the chin is very high on Matsumoto.
He's sort of known for that no guard and just throwing punches from his ass style.
Even though he does have that stance, he's only been stopped once in mixed martial arts by Katsunori Kikuno, who KO'd him. The man who says he is trying to win the Triple Crown, Matsumoto. He's the current Deep champion. He defeated former Pancrase champion. And Leon Takeshi is a former Shuto champion. Still Takeshi, a lot of posturing here. Not initiating, even though he's controlling center ring. And Matsumoto does a bit of showboating, hoping to maybe bait him in here, Frank, and counter. It's a strange game that both men are playing here. They're waiting for the other to go on the offense so they can counter.
Yeah, it's almost like you have two counter punchers, which neither one of these guys are, truly. Trying to offset the other guy, waiting for him to throw, and no one's doing anything. I don't know, do they have that much respect hands for each other where they're just not willing to fight?
Well, Takeshi is kind of a slow starter, and that's why we saw Miyata take him apart, because he just got taken down over and over again in his last Dream fight. I believe it was Dream 14. And Matsumoto, I'm not sure. Maybe he's just worried about being countered on, because he's normally is pretty, gung ho.
Backed against the ropes. Now drifting back to center ring. Ooh, that'll do it. Nice front kick to the midsection there from Leon Takeshi. Wild uppercut off the left hand. That was nowhere near the target from Matsumoto. Right hand lead. Matsumoto, who had a little bit of trouble cutting the weight for this one, it said it tired him out so much that he would have sent a beautiful woman home if she'd showed up at his door naked.
He's getting better shape then. What's wrong with that guy?
That's the kind of neighborhood I want to live in. They clinch up and Tango back into the blue corner almost halfway through this opening round. Nothing's been working so far for Takeshi from a striking range. There was an opportunity there from a clinching range, but still nothing really happening. Matsumoto continues to carry his hands low, stick out his chin, but Takeshi is not trying to take advantage. Takeshi's had some very good name wins in his career. Rumina Sato, Cole Miller, Hiroyuki Abe, Akitoshi Tamura. Actually began training in mixed martial arts because he idolized Rumina Sato. Only later to defeat his idol by TKO. You see Matsumoto showing off a little bit here. Although yesterday in the press conference it was Takeshi who said, I'm not planning on showing off. I'll do whatever it takes to win. But he's not really doing too much at the moment, Frank.
He hasn't done anything. I mean, he's thrown a couple front kicks and a couple leg kicks, but nothing else really.
There is the big rivalry between the two. Takeshi also saying at the media conference, as a former Shudo champ, I can't lose to the deep champion. How does that divide the crowd here, do you think, Hans?
You know, we're seeing a lot of champions from different organizations here, and that's kind of been the theme of Dream over the last couple of years, is getting champions from different organizations together. And it really does bring another level to this competition, that they're not just fighting one-on-one, but they feel like they're kind of bearing the weight of their respective organizations on their shoulders.
Which would be more popular, the Shudo guys or the deep guys?
You know, they're both kind of grassroots level organizations. Shuto's been around a long time. A lot of these guys have competed in Shuto at one time or another. But again, you really just have factions that are for both.
4 minutes remaining in the first round. That has been Matsumoto's round, not so much for the greater work rate, but more so for the very little work rate of Leon Takeshi. Inside thigh kick was a lazy one from Matsumoto.
Takeshi's doing a good job of stalking Matsumoto, getting his back to the corner and getting his back to the ropes, but he's not doing anything once he's there. This front kick is not going to help him win this fight. It's an offsetting, it's a rangefinder. He's got to get some more action down.
Just nodding towards his corner.
A little bit of mixed English and Japanese instructions there.
Finally, a solid shot from Takeshi. And now Matsumoto on his back. Can Takeshi finish? Yes, he does. And that came out of nowhere, Frank.
Wow.
The first time he genuinely threw a hard shot, a straight right hand, dropped Matsumoto, ground and pound. Good night, Irene.
I mean, that was crazy, because it looked like there was going to be the rest around him, them doing nothing at all. He finally got warned for not doing any action. I was like, okay, I'm going to do something, and threw one punch and it was over.
Frank, was it a case of Leon Takeshi playing possum, do you think?
I don't know. We haven't seen that before in his repertoire, for him to be able to back off and play possum and play that game, but he's definitely got hard right hands. It's definitely hard strikes when he wants to throw them, but like Hans said earlier, he's a slow starter, but in an action like this, you can't really be a slow starter. You got to kind of get moving a little bit quicker. He didn't really do it, and then all of a sudden when he got warned, he's like, hey, let's go forward. As for him playing possum, I'm not real sure, but it's a good story to stick with for him if he's going to the medium.
And what did we say earlier? How low the hands were of Matsumoto, how much his chin was jutting into the air, and it proved to be his undoing.
vs. Nishiura Akiyo.
A featherweight contest, the veteran Caol taking on Wiki Nishiura, one I've been looking forward to.
Nishiura, Wiki Akiyo.
Wiki brings in a mixed martial arts record of 11-6-1, never been stopped in MMA.
172センチ、65キロ。
And the little gremlin, Caol really doesn't need an introduction. 25, 14, and 5. A true legend of Japanese mixed martial arts, 12 wins via submission. Caol has been around for a long time. Wins over Rumino Sato twice, Din Thomas, Dennis Holman, Hideo Tokoro, Mitsuhiro, Ishida, Eves Edwards. One of our favourites. Michael Chavello, Frank Trigg and Hans Thompson with you, with rumours abounding, Hans, that it may be the final fight in Caol career.
You know, a lot of his comments, a lot of other fighters' comments, including Nishiura, who said that basically the guard was going to change with this fight, seemed to point towards this maybe being Uno's last fight.
He's had some tough losses in his career to BJ Penn, Aoki, Hansen, Kid Yamamoto, Jay-Z, Miyata. A very accomplished wrestler. He's wearing the wrestling shoes here to provide a little more traction, Frank, when he shoots in.
Yeah, a lot more traction, and you know, if you kick with the top of your foot, it makes the top of the foot a lot harder too when you're kicking with it for those front kicks and leg kicks.
And what's on the back of Wiki here, Frank?
It's that Titan tape they've used, the kinesio tape, where he must have a back injury, and they tape the muscle down the length of the muscle, the direction that the muscle is supposed to maneuver, so it strengthens up that muscle a little bit, so it's not as sore. It works really well. I've had it done a couple times in my shoulder.
We've seen Wiki tape his back like that quite a few times, in fact.
Ooh, overhand right from Wiki. I've had tape like that on my back, Frank, but it's usually waxing tape to get rid of the hair.
Is it harder off your back or off your shoulders?
Wiki Nishiura, who has also had a foray into K1 fighting as of recent times with mixed success. His striking translates well into mixed martial arts, very aggressive style, always moving forward, but hasn't really translated that well into the world-class striking of K1. Right round kick there from Uno. Thought about the front kick. Inside thigh kick, missed the target. Oh, spinning back kick to the liver section. Nicely done from Uno. The little gremlin moving well here in the first round. He will switch stance as well, Uno. You see him here, southpaw. He'll go back to orthodox and he'll continue to switch up for the entire fight. Looks for a single leg. Couldn't lock onto it though. But a lot of movement here from Uno early, Frank.
He wants to get out of Wiki's power. If you stand in front of Wiki and let him use his explosive power and his leaping punches, he'll knock you out. So Uno's very smart, getting out of the way and stepping sideways. Oh, nice single leg attempt.
Uno get Wiki down to the canvas.
Wiki's very athletic, very explosive. You know, very great balance, you know, on one foot. So it's going to be very hard to get him down in this spot.
Takes the back.
He's always been tough to take down, and then all that training with Matt Hume, I think, has really taken his takedown defense to another level.
Even when you take him down, you can notice he's been taken down twice in this little sequence, but both times he's immediately back to his feet again, so it's difficult to do anything to him, even if you do take him down. And Uno is expending so much energy trying to get this guy down to the ground.
And Wiki back up onto one knee. So resilient, Wiki Nishiura. Again, one of those fighters who always comes to fight, never takes the easy road. Uno drops down onto that single leg.
I mean, obviously, Uno wants this fight on the ground. He's spending so much time. He could have let go a long time ago and just went back out to the feet and put some more strikes in.
Elbows to the upper spine there from Wiki. Uno still trying to put him on his back in the neutral corner here to no avail. 6 minutes 20 remaining in the first round, set for 10. The 36-year-old Uno celebrated his 36th birthday only a couple of weeks ago on May 8th. Takes the back here. What does Wiki do from here, Frank?
Wiki's just got to shake a little bit, try and get Uno back to his side. He needs to clear that heel right there on his left side. Wiki's got to get that heel cleared out of his body. That's the only way Uno's really holding on right now, and he'll fall off him.
You know, he's in desperate need of a win here, is Uno. Hasn't had a win since defeating Mitsuhiro Ishida back in 2008. Losses to Aoki, Spencer Fisher, a draw against Fabrizio Camos. Lost to Gleason Tibau and Kazuki Miyata. Has the stock fallen here, Hans, of Uno?
Well, as you know, in Japan, a lot of times they tend to look at a fighter more by his giving exciting performances than wins. But that could be one of the reasons that they're having issues competing with the very much win-at-all-cost style of American fighters. And you know, Uno certainly seems to think that he seems like he's a proud guy. He seems to think that it's getting close to time.
Of course, Uno has had 2 stints in the UFC. As you see here, taking the back again over Wiki. That recent stint in UFC, 3 fights at UFC 99, 106, and Fight Night Florian versus Gomi. 2 losses and a draw. How did that go down with the Japanese brass, Hans? Was there a sense of resentment that Uno went back to fight in UFC?
You know, Uno largely is considered a Shuto fighter, having been considered one of the 4 best fighters ever to come out of Shuto. But really, he's fought everywhere. You know, he's been in a lot of different organizations, and more so than resentment, I think that the Japanese appreciate when Japanese fighters are able to go to the UFC, which is widely recognized as, you know, the big league nowadays. But obviously, they would like to see him get better results out there. As I said, it's kind of a national embarrassment right now that they just don't, that the skills just don't seem to be able to translate overseas.
His first stint in UFC, which kicked off back in 2001 at UFC 30, battle on the boardwalk where he lost to Jens Pulver. Actually had 3 losses, 1 draw and 3 wins in that stint. The wins over Dean Thomas, Yves Edwards and Fabiano Ita. It's been a long and storied career for Caol. It began, we were talking before, Frank, about how Joachim Hansen had been around since '99. Inoue began his career in 1996.
Yeah, Inoue and I actually started just about the same time competing, and it was the first time I met Inoue. We were actually both celebrating our birthdays. We have a birthday, his is the 7th, or mine is the 7th, his is the 8th, so I thought for the longest time he and I were the same age, not realizing that I'm 3 years older than he is. So it was a little tough to swallow, but Inoue has been around just as long as I have. I've watched him in his streaks and, you know, the greatness that he was going to be, and then how he just couldn't compete, you know, foreign, but then when he's in Japan, he destroys almost everybody that he competes against.
Nishiura also had 10 fights in the Shujo organization. His first in 2004 was a win over Takeshi Sato by knockout. Actually went 4-1 in his first 5, 8-2 in his first 10. Wiki Nishiura, all under the Shujo banner, 1 under the deep banner. 2 minutes 45 remaining here in the first round.
Almost good. He looks like he's going for a crucifix there. He missed it.
Oh, Wiki with the mount momentarily as Caol gives his back. What can Wiki do from here, Frank, to try and finish?
Flat him out. He's got to get underneath both his arms and extend his legs out to get Inoue flat on his stomach before he rolls over and gets up on top again.
Unoue's actually famous for his back mount escapes. So.
Yeah, this is his best trick. They have a couple of back mount escapes who actually named Inoue because of him.
It's just that general type of escape, that rolling and getting good position off a bad position. Really just an incredible grappler.
Inoue keeping the chin tucked, nice inside thigh kick. Outside thigh kick from Wiki Nishiura. Some of that kickboxing skill we saw in his draw against Tetsuya Yamato at Dynamite here in Saitama Super Arena. Wiki the hands low, and Inoue tries to come over the top with the right. Jumping knee! Inoue locks onto a single leg, gets the takedown, looking to take the back here of Wiki. Wiki back to his feet in the neutral corner. A lot of work in this opening round. Under 90 seconds remaining. Don't forget, folks, keep up with the latest schedule of all our HDNet fights. Check out our all-new looking website, hd.net. Also, feel free to add us on Twitter as well, HDNet Fights, at HDNet. And Frank Trigg, Hans Thompson, Michael Chiavello, we are all on there. Looking for a submission here late, Frank, is Caol.
Oh, indeed, but I don't think it's off the side. Wiki's got his chin tucked. He might pull a neck crank over and get him flat on his back. Sees Wiki's on the side. He's able to pop out of it.
The pink-haired Wiki Nishiura still safe with 40 seconds on the clock. But Caol is putting in some work, controlling that left wrist of Wiki, trying to get a couple of shots off and snake that right arm under the chin again. He's looking for it, Frank, but I don't know if he'll get it with 22 seconds on the clock.
He's definitely working. He's battling it with that hand. He's getting it in, but Wiki's doing a great job of battling it out. Every time he gets in, he gets 2-on-1 and feeds it back out again.
It looks to be an impressive round for Caol.
Most importantly, the more time they spend on grappling, the better it goes for Inoue. You know, just the way their styles match up.
10 minutes down, 5 minutes remaining. An impressive opening round for the crazy little gremlin, the veteran Caol. Ready for the second round of action between Carluno and Wiki Nishiura. Frank, if you're in the corner of Wiki between rounds, what are you telling him to do?
You know, if I'm telling Wiki, look, you gotta get your punches going a lot quicker. Don't throw haymakers every single time you're throwing them. I want 1 or 2 punches, and I want you getting after it. Because you got to be careful. Uno's going to spend his whole time trying to get us to the ground. Keep it off the ground. We want to stay on top. Try to make sure that Uno gets hit at least a couple times before he takes us down again.
Wiki Nishiura, who last competed in Shujo back in July 2009, one of his more unsung fights. He did lose to Gustavo Falcrioli, the Brazilian. Strangely enough, it was a Shuto event in my neck of the woods, Australia, at Joondalup, of all places, which is just a suburb of Perth. Only has about 8,000 people there. Corner here of Wiki Nishiura. Plenty of instruction there, Hans.
They're just talking to him in general about their fight strategy. Basically similar to what Frank was saying there. Like he needs to put his punches together and try not to lock up with him. Keep moving.
5 minutes remaining here at Dream Fight for Japan. Nishiura versus Carluno outside at the moment, folks. A typhoon. Not a big one. A lot of rain, a lot of wind. It'll turn your umbrella inside out. Second round, 5 minutes to go. Southpaw stance on both men at the moment, but Carluno will switch. Oh, high right round. Nicely done from Wiki. As we said, he's got to sharpen up the strikes, make them all count here. Inside leg kick. And a front kick from Carluno. Uno moving around nicely, the 36-year-old on the balls of his feet. Circling into that left hand of Wiki at the moment. Shoots in for a single. Can Uno get him down? Against the ropes. He's a hard man to take down, Frank. He's Wiki Nishiura.
So athletic, he's got great balance, the ability for him to move within the grass too, and he's strong. So he also knows his balance points. Where a lot of guys are like, oh, I must be falling, so I'm just going to fall. Wiki fights you all the way down to the ground. So as a result, 9 out of the 10 takedowns he's in, he gets out of.
In addition to all that time that he spent with Matt Hume, for this fight in particular, he knew what he was going up against. He went and trained at Team Alpha Male with Uriah Faber on his takedown defense and choke defense, which exactly what you need to fight Caol Uno.
Uno, who has fought at a number of weights. He made it to the semi-finals of the Dream Lightweight Grand Prix in 2008. Was runner-up at the 2006 K1 Heroes Middleweight Tournament. And was the Shuto welterweight champion. Will this indeed be his last fight? I hope not, because he's looking very good here tonight. Still has a lot left to offer. Step through knee from Wiki, nicely done to the sternum. Uno goes to ground on his back now. Wiki inside the guard. An opportunity now, Frank, to see the guard game of Carluno and the top game here of Wiki.
Yeah, Wiki's got a great top game because he is explosive. He can kind of relax and rest for a second and then throw 3 big haymakers and one of them will TKO you. Choose to back out though instead. I'm kind of surprised by that Uno would actually, after all the fighting to get to the ground, would kick him away and not try to keep him in and try to do some more grappling with him from the bottom.
Wild right hand, straight left to the jawline from Wiki, and he went for the meet and greet, the big bok choy. I would really like to see Wiki, when he has Carluno in the corner, try and tie him up in a tie clinch and work those knees, Frank. It could be one chink in the very strong armor of Carluno.
Yeah, because Uno, every time he gets his head tied up, he tries to lower his level and shoot, and the guy's got a really good tie clinch. With those elbows stuck in your chest, you can't shoot on him. As a result, you end up just catching a knee to the face every time.
All locked up in the corner. Nice little back elbow. Be good here from Wiki off the left arm if he lets go of the right wrist of Carluno. Okay to canvas. Uno takes the back. What does he do from here, Frank?
Gotta get that other heel in there so he can get himself on top. He's kind of off the side a little bit. As he's digging for that under, you keep seeing it. Everyone knows he's digging for that choke, so you're gonna keep attacking that arm. But if you get that leg involved, get the body triangle right here now and try to set himself up on top, he's got a better shot at getting a choke in as opposed to just digging with just the arms. Wiki's doing such a great job of battling out and keeping his arms out from underneath his neck.
The view, if you were a bird. 1 minute 40 remaining in the final round of action, the 5-minute round.
It's in, take the chin. He's got it in, he's slugged it in finally. Can he finish?
And Uno find the finish with under 90 seconds remaining, but Wiki looks patient. He still looks relaxed. It's more on the chin here, Frank.
Yep, he slid it back underneath again. Wow, he had it there for a second.
Uriah must have shown him a thing or two about how to defend this choke.
This is good work from Wiki. He's out of there now. Top position once again. Lands the right hand to the chin and takes the back of Uno. Uno rolls back onto his back. It's still Wiki on top of him. What can Wiki do now with 50 seconds remaining?
Flatten out, extend his hips all the way out, flatten out, and get Uno stabilized underneath him and start throwing some hammer blows. If you let Uno move at all, he's gonna have to find a way to get back to your back again like he just did.
Caol Uno, the experience of the veteran. Wiki on his back with an up kick, throws the legs up now. Under 30 seconds remaining. It is going to be a hard one for the judges. But you feel that Caol Uno should be in the lead, Frank.
Yeah, he's had more action, he's had more pressure, he's had better positions the entire fight. But remember, they're judging the whole fight. And Wiki did have some flash of brilliances, but he just hasn't gotten off yet.
Back to the feet is the one final strike. A high knee from Wiki. Can he get a clinch and knee off? No, shrugs him off. Launches the left hook, right hand, and that's all. A gallant performance from Wiki Nishiura. Survival mode often in that second round. And as we said, Frank, always, no matter who they put him against under mixed martial arts rules or K1 rules, Wiki Nishiura comes to throw down.
He throws that weird style where he throws from his hips. He keeps his chin is down, but he keeps his face out there to get you to throw at it. He's so good athletically. He can move his face out of the way every time you try to throw a punch at him. So he's got that style where he wants you to punch, he's gonna catch you coming in and make you meet his fist on the way through. You know, Uno just is so tough on the top and on the bottom. No matter what position of grappling that you gotta be careful as a striker to ever let him in on your feet, let him down. And Wiki, I think, just let him take him down too much. You know, we had a couple rear naked choke defenses that were just amazing, but I think it was just too much.
So it should see Caol Uno get the win here.
Judge Todori, Uno.
First judge for Uno.
Judge Ohashi, Uno.
And there it is. Unanimous decision. The little gremlin. Uno shot in, as they call him. Moves his record ahead to 26-14-5. And we hope it's not the last we see of Caol Uno. I'm sure some words of wisdom there from Caol Uno to Wiki Nishiura. What great sportsmanship. One of the things I really love about Japanese mixed martial arts, that sense of camaraderie, sportsmanship, Bushido spirit. They'll let it all go inside the ring, but then afterwards, a common respect. Wiki Nishiura has a smile going back to the change rooms as well. He should, Frank. He's just gone the distance in a very competitive fight with a true legend.
And not only that, but defended rear naked choke, his best submission 6 or 7 different times, and one time it was in very, very deep, but still got his way all the way out of it. But his back given up, a couple of times, and still was able to battle off it. Wiki has nothing to be ashamed of in this fight. Obviously, he's a little bit more skilled. He's able to control the grappling game a little bit better, the takedown game, but definitely, showed mass improvements for this fight.
The Uno family there.
Looks like they take after their mother.
We should certainly hope so. A family event and a highly emotional night here for Japanese mixed martial arts. All the fighters agreeing to donate a large portion of their purse in the fight for Japan to help rebuild a nation as the mixed martial arts community pitches in to do what we can do. And Caol Uno about to take the microphone, and we'll hand it over to Hans Thompson.
今日はこういった天気の中
Thank you very much for everyone for coming in the middle of this bad weather and this tough situation in Japan in
本当に見
general.
に来てくれてありがとうございます感謝してます
I really appreciate it.
まあ世代交代的な戦いはまあ今更ウィッキー選手で始まった
The
ことじゃ
truth
なく
is
て
that this changing of the guard type fight didn't start
そういっ
with
たものは
Wiki here.
ちょっと
It
経験して
started
るん
with
でその差が出てきた
with my fight with Kawajiri.
まあ被災してまだもうちょっとこの間36歳になったんですけど
I'm
もうちょっと世代交代待ってくださいって
36 years old now, but you're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer for the changing of the guard.
この3年間ここで石田選手と
These
試合
last
してか
3
ら
years, since beating Ishida, I haven't been able to win at
何
all.
回もやめようと
I was
諦
thinking
めましたけど
over and over about quitting.
3年間諦めようこのわけでばかりを自分を応援してくれて本当にありがとうござい
Thank you very
ます
much for loving me
そして
even
また
when
被災している
I kept losing.
方たち僕ぐらいの年代36歳30代の方に
But
ちょっとでも
even at this stage in my career, I hope that I'm able to
本当に今日はあり
give
がとう
some
ございました感謝の
encouragement and some
ありがとうござい
courage
ました
to the victims of the earthquake. Thank you very much.
And folks, more to come from Dream Fight for Japan at the Saitama Super Arena when we return here on HD Net.
Kikuno Katsunori vs 中村大輔
ただいまより第8
It's
試合
time
を
for
行います
Katsunori Kikuno versus Daisuke Nakamura here at Dream Fight for Japan.
69.6キロ中村大輔
Daisuke Nakamura 23 and 12, 14 submission wins, 13 by armbar.
140センチ70キロKikuno
A little bit of a kata in the corner for Katsunori Kikuno. 14, 3 and 2 mixed martial arts record. 8 wins by knockout. Has gone 8 and 2 in his last 10. The current deep lightweight champion. He of the creepy smile. This one should be good on paper. Another fantastic matchup. Kikuno's had some big wins in his career so far over the likes of Andre Dida, Byukun Jun, Kuniyoshi Hironaka. Losses to Jay-Z and Eddie Alvarez. Nakamura's beaten the likes of Ferid Kadir, Hideo Tokoro, Shichi Ikamoto and Yuji Hoshino. Will we see the patented crescent kick to the liver of Katsunori Kikuno? Michael Chevello, Frank Trigg, and the Hanslater, Hans Thompson with you. And Kikuno opens up like a house of fire, tags him with a turning right hand. And again from Kikuno, 3, 4 right hands to the jawline. And Nakamura tries to get the takedown. Beaten effectively on the feet. Side control now for Kikuno. What a start. And this crowd are loud for the first real time tonight, Hans.
Yeah, they're saying Kikuno, Kikuno.
The amount of love Kikuno's received in a very short time since joining Dream has just been phenomenal, Hans, hasn't it?
Well, you know, they're always looking around for that next Japanese champion. Ever since Sakuraba, they really haven't had a guy that everybody could get behind.
Nakamura. Ooh, a knee to the upper right rib cage. Kikuno back to his feet, all tied up like a pretzel over in the neutral corner. Frank, what does Nakamura need to do after this exciting start from Kikuno?
Yeah, Nakamura's got to slow the pace down a little bit. He's getting overwhelmed by the hands. Obviously, his defense isn't where it needs to be because he got hit, 3-4 times. Try to keep him in the corner as much as he can, slow the pace down, and if he can, get to his heel hooks and his knee locks as quickly as possible. It's the only way he's got a shot at staying in this fight because he's just getting mainly at least this point.
Kikuno looking again for those hooking punches. Uppercut off the right hand. There's a short left hook to the orbital of Nakamura. Right cross falls short for Kikuno. He throws these punches from the waist. He'd be better served to lift his hands up and throw them from shoulder or jaw height. Nice stiff right hand again from Kikuno. And another right cross. Kikuno on the front foot here, showing no respect whatsoever for the striking of Daisuke Nakamura. I haven't seen a fighter just simply drop his hands to his side like that, Frank.
And just walk right into him, chin up, and just walk and get away with it. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys do it and kind of get, kind of gets tagged with it, and we start making fun of him. He's walking in with no respect at all and not getting hit all that much at all and completely controlling the fight to this point.
This may have something to do with Kikuno's Kyokushin karate background. As you guys know, there are no strikes, there's no punches to the head in Kyokushin karate. He's been in MMA a long time now, but maybe that's coming back. I don't know.
He's got to make a decision at some point to keep his chin down and get one guy that knows how to throw at least one punch correctly. It's, in the middle of it, he's going to put him on the canvas with that. I mean, he's basically got his face just sticking right out there to get crushed.
Kyokushin fighters do fight in a gi, bare-fisted, with the only protection being a groin guard. As Han said, no punching allowed to the face, but you can punch to all other areas of the body. You can kick to the legs, body, and head, as well as knee to the legs, body, and head. A very vigorous form of combative martial art, Kyokushin, renowned as the hardest form of karate. There's that right cross again from Katsunori Kikuno. Kore Gyakuzuki in traditional karate. Left hook from Kikuno.
I went to the Kyokushin Kai Hombu, their head dojo, and it seemed like their whole practice consisted of standing around with their hands down and kicking each other in the head. It was brutal.
It is an incredible place indeed, the Hombu dojo. I was witness to a 100-man kumite there 2 years ago, one of the only Westerners very privileged to be witness to the closed-door 100-man kumite, completed by Arthur Hovasinian of Armenia. The ritual is incredible. Kikuno again with that right hand, lands it once more and once more. More crosses in the Vatican here for Katsunori Kikuno.
Now he's getting lit up. Nakamura's trying to smack him every time he throws a punch out there right in his chin. And I don't care how tough your neck and face is, at some point it's going to wear you down.
On the ground again, inside control, Kikuno, almost halfway through the opening round. Nakamura looking for career victory number 24, Kikuno for number 15. Kikuno, who's been attending pro training at the Deep Dojo, working on his grappling with the likes of Shinya Aoki and Satoru Kuteoka. Actually said at yesterday's press conference he'll knock out Nakamura with one shot, not allowing him to do anything. He certainly came close in the opening 90 seconds, 2 minutes, but as Frank said, a little bit of a swing of the pendulum back in Nakamura's favour over the last minute and a half or so. Nakamura did say that Kikuno is a little bit scary because he's got the power to end the fight with one shot. I was actually very vague when journalists yesterday quizzed him as to how he had prepared a special defence for Kikuno's famous inside crescent kick.
He was kind of like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
Well, if you didn't, you get hit.
Inside the half guard, top position here for Kikuno, who I am told, Hans, you'll be able to confirm, has a very strong southern Japanese accent. I wasn't aware that the Japanese actually had that variance in accent.
Yeah, he's from the southern island of Kyushu, and when he speaks, sometimes it's pretty clear that he's speaking a dialect.
Is that similar to the American accents that you hear? Because I can definitely tell a Southern American from other parts of America. It's a very thick Southern accent.
Yeah, without getting too much into it, there's a big east-west divide in dialects in Japan, and there are certain areas where people, like older people with strong dialects, are almost unintelligible to people who are not familiar with them.
At the moment, Nakamura being very familiar with that left hand of Kikuno, still inside the half guard here, trying to take that right leg out and go to side control. The legs are open now from Nakamura, but Kikuno just seems content to stay where he is as Nakamura controls the posture, reaching around the back of the neck, pulling the head down, and the referee's going to break them and recommence from a standing position. Who will this favour now, Frank, do you feel?
Well, the way it went the last little bit, Nakamura's actually favoured. He's getting the better strikes on the feet.
Right hands again from Kikuno, swinging from the hips. High left round kick and a right hand from Nakamura. They clinch up again, pulls guard, Nakamura. Flying guard Was it wise there, Frank?
No, I don't think so, because the last time he's been on the ground, he was getting beat up pretty good, getting handled. He really couldn't get that much motion, couldn't get to his heel hooks or his knee bars. So really, as I say, unless he gets a sweep, for him to get back on top, it's really not a good position for him to be on the bottom.
Inside half guard again here. Katsunori Kikuno, 3 minutes 15 remaining. Nakamura trying to control that right arm, not allowing any ground and pound from inside the half guard by Kikuno. Got to be careful, got to stay active here. We've seen the referee recommence them to a stand-up position once. Where's that instruction coming from, Hans, that we can hear?
He's just saying get back to half and get deep underneath him.
Inside half again here. Kikuno, trained in judo and Kyokushin karate.
Yeah, if I'm Nakamura, I'm not gonna just lay here. I gotta start scooting out to my side, dig an underhook in. He keeps going overhook with that left arm of his. He needs to go underneath and try to change his position, because he's not in a spot, nor does he have the strength for a sweep in that spot. So it's really no good for him to be here. And then of course, if I'm Kikuno, I'm staying right on top here and trying to bury that head in there, and get a couple of side punches if I can until I get to a choke.
If you've never researched the history of Kyokushin karate, certainly worth a look into, folks. The founder, Sosai Masoyama, died in the early 1990s of pneumonia. Was renowned as one of the strongest men to ever exist. Used to fight bulls, kill them with one strike to the head, and then shear their horns off with their shuto, a knife hand strike. Also famously fought a 300-man kumite over 3 days. 100 men each day for 3 days straight, and was undefeated.
One of the interesting things about Masoyama too is, despite being this Japanese hero, he was actually Korean by birth.
Indeed. Spent a lot of time meditating. Was said to be so strong he could also bend a dime in half between his thumb and forefinger. An amazing story. Do research it. Uppercut there from Kikuno. Oh, nice front kick to the thigh from Kikuno. Haven't seen the crescent kick yet from him. Left hook and a right hook. Nicely done. Drops down for a double, but Nakamura defends. The arm is in here.
Good job, he rolled right into that arm bar. Good job, Kikuno. He buried it underneath. He's got his arm kind of caught. He's locked his hands together so it won't pop out. And Nakamura's in a good spot here to finish this off. He's got to extend. So he's just laying there with that left leg on top. He's not doing anything. He needs to put that knee, put the back of his knee behind his neck, start pushing him away.
Kikuno's corner telling him be careful about the legs here. Nakayama looking like he wants to roll for one. Nakamura.
Nakamura on his back here with 20 seconds remaining in this first round. Kikuno wants to get some shots off with that left. It's been a very active round for both these men. Hasn't really been a dull moment. And this is how we'll see the round end. Kikuno inside the half guard, top position. And in my opinion, if we were scoring round by round, Frank, doing enough to win the first.
Yeah, Kikuno definitely controlled the position, controlled the top side, controlled the pace. He did a great job of it. Nakamura, though, is coming back here at the end of the first round. Let's see what happens in the second.
Folks, more to come from Dream Fight for Japan from the Saitama Super Arena. So the second round of Nakamura versus Kikuno. What do you feel Nakamura needs to do here, Frank?
Nakamura, he's too predictable when he's rolling to his knee bars from on top. When he gets underneath and Kikuno takes his back, he's really not selling it too well. He's got to step in there and start using his punching and striking a little bit better on the feet and offset, and then literally jump into a knee bar, jump into a heel hook. This is his best chance to get to it. That's what he keeps digging for. When he gets on top or gets the takedown, he needs to stick with it. He's not doing it enough, and as a result, he's ending up getting reversed. He kind of has a great first attempt, and then stops and gets reversed over. So really, I'd like to see Nakamura try to be a little bit more aggressive, be a little bit smarter about his striking and his ability to get to his submission attempts.
Kikuno just confident in his striking. See how low he carries his hands. Now, I called that a front kick earlier on. It was almost a side kick, a tip kick turned into a side kick, one of those awkward kicks that Kikuno likes to throw. The side kick in traditional karate is called a yokogeri. The front kick is a maigeri. They look relaxed, Hans.
There's Tsuyoshi Kosaka giving him some pointers in the corner there.
Where's his drum set? Okay, second round of action, 5 minutes remaining. Frank Trigg, Hans Thompson, Michael Chavello with you. Dream fight for Japan from the Saitama Super Arena. A little bit of damage above the left eye there of Kikuno. And once again, he targets the chin of Nakamura. Good stiff right hand. Nakamura clinch a knee to the liver section and a straight right cross of his own. Outside leg kick from Nakamura, almost gets countered with the left hand. Pulls guard again, Nakamura. Frank, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, not smart. Maybe figure something out in the corner between rounds and what he can do. And his corner gave him some advice on how to jump to it, but just to get a break is what he seems to be doing. To jump in the guard is not smart.
Inside the guard, Kikuno. Can he get the hands off at the moment? The left hand is locked down by Nakamura. They call him the armbar genius. I wonder if he'll have the technical ability to slap an armbar on Kikuno here. As I said earlier, 13 of his 14 submissions have been via armbar.
That's the one problem with Nakamura, though. His arm bars are great, but if you can't get a guy by armbar, he tends to lose a lot of decisions.
And to be honest with you, he hasn't even really attempted one at all. It's been all rolling for heel hooks, rolling for knee bars. He's really not attempting any kind of arm bar every time he's gone to the ground. So really, I think he's kind of giving up hope on it altogether.
Back to the center of the ring. Kikuno once more goes back to the right cross. Once again, Frank, I think that Kikuno would be so much more effective, though, if he threw these punches from up at his shoulder or his jawline level and straightened up his hands.
Yeah, like a Western-style boxer.
He's just very lazy.
And it's very strange on how some of these Japanese fighters get away with their punching and their striking. And it seems to effectively beat very well for them. They have a high multitude of knockouts or TKOs due to strikes, and they kind of stick with that kind of theme. But they have so much more power, Michael, you're right, if it was up by their shoulders and not down by their hips.
Knees from Kikuno inside the half guard. Inside the full guard now. And the close guard. What are Nakamura's options from here, Frank?
He's got to push his heels off, get a little separation, start digging either underhook or overhook on one of those arms, and really start moving himself to that side. He's getting a butterfly guard in. He looks for the sweep every time, but then he gets countered. He gets stuck in half guard. So he digs that foot in. He's actually giving half guard up because he's not using that butterfly guard for any particular reason when he digs that right foot inside.
2 minutes, 10 remaining, second and final round. And the referee getting a little fed up here. Wants to see more action from both these men. And moves them to the center of the ring, away from the ropes. And delivers a yellow card for inactivity. So we are back to striking.
That yellow card was to both fighters. Nakamura got one earlier for inactivity, and that one was to both. Although it didn't really show it, it looked like.
Oh, Kikuno wears a right hand, walks through it.
Those two on Nakamura's side, you got to be kind of frustrated too. You hit this guy with 5 and 6, 7 punches right in the chin to watch his head snap, but he just keeps coming after you. It gets really frustrating when you can't put a guy away.
Did you see that little vicious side kick again to the thigh in there? It's a beautiful weapon he uses. Left hook there from Kikuno, wild uppercut, almost took out the ring lights. Straight right hand to the schnoggin. And Kikuno once again teeing off on him like a golf course. 90 seconds remaining here in the fight. Kikuno knee to the deltoid. Ooh, a knee to the top of the head.
Very different position in Japan from in the U.S., this sprawl position.
You definitely don't want to be down here with a guy who knows how to throw any kind of knees because it ends up changing how you shot.
And Kikuno just raked in the points. Side control now. They call him the Japanese GSP. 45 seconds on the clock. It has not been a barn burner of a fight by any stretch of the imagination, but it has been consistent work, more so from Kikuno. Nakamura still has not found the opportunity to transition to one of his trademark armbars.
You know, Kikuno is primarily known as a karate fighter, but he has been able to hang with good grapplers like JZ Cavalcanti and now Daisuke Nakamura, who, if anything, is a great grappler, you know.
Final seconds here, as Nakamura got one attempt left to try and pull a rabbit out of the proverbial hat. I think not. It'll end up like this. Kikuno top position inside the half guard, pounding away with his right hand. And we go to the judges once again. It should be a comfortable victory here, Frank, for Katsunori Kikuno.
Yeah, relatively easy. I mean, he controlled the entire pace of the fight, controlled the top, controlled every position that he needed to be controlled in. And other than the fact that he let his defense for his striking fail miserably, there was no chance of him ever getting knocked down or being stung by any of those punches. So everything from his game plan worked effectively. He throws that little side kick right on the knee. It's not even really to the thigh. He kind of tries to hyperextend your knee with it. And it rattles. Both times he threw it on Nakamura, Kikuno really offset his entire body. You saw his whole body shake when he got kicked.
Good extension on the right hand, using it as a lead punch there. Katsunori Kikuno not setting it up with the jab, which is very much a karate technique. Reverse punch, they call it.
Hansenの結果をお伝えします。ジャッジAtsushi, Kikuno.
Into Kikuno. We'll take it here. Katsunori Kikuno moves ahead to 15-3-2. Nakamura goes to 23-13. A very good victory for Kikuno, taking out a tough opponent. But Nakamura needed to be a lot more aggressive than what he was. As Hans said, Kikuno's ground game is often very underrated, given his background in Kyokushin karate. And once more, the tremendous respect shown by these two men. The deep lightweight champion, Katsunori Kikuno, continues his winning ways as a true example of traditional martial arts.
There's Kiyoshi Tamura leading him out of the ring there. You saw him shaking hands with Tsuyoshi Kosaka, a couple of pretty big names in Japanese MMA.
They have all turned out here tonight at the Saitama Super Arena to support Fight for Japan.
Shinya vs. Clementi.
Dream fight for Japan from the Saitama Super Arena, and this fight we've been looking forward to. Aoki versus No Love. Clementi.
70 kilo. Richie Clementi.
Clementi brings in an extensive record, 40-19-1. 19 wins via submission, but he's also lost 6 times via sub.
69.8 kilo. Aoki
Shinya Aoki, 27-5, arguably the greatest submission exponent on the planet. He comes in off that devastating loss to Gianotsu Nagashima at Dynamite on New Year's Eve, where he was knocked out in the submission grappling round, the MMA round. Which kept my beard on my face, but had Frank Trigg wearing the pink lipstick and wig.
Got it.
Hans, following that loss to Gianotsu, what's the stock like of Aoki in Japan at the moment?
You know, a lot of people are hoping for him to be the savior of Japanese MMA, but ultimately he's a polarizing figure. There are people who like him, people who extremely dislike him, and some people thought he got what he deserved.
Well, love him or hate him, you've got to respect the skill of Shinya Aoki. He's delivered some of the finest submissions ever seen in the sport. I mean, who'll ever forget Dynamite a couple of years ago, where he broke the arm in that main event. The reverse gogoplata on Nagata back in the early Dream days. So many defining moments in the career of Shinya Aoki. Frank, how do you see this one going down? What does Clementi have that can pose a problem for Aoki?
Well, you know, Clementi is one of those guys that's not scared to be on the ground. When most of the guys Aoki's been fighting in the past have been really scared to be on the ground with him from a submission game. As you can see, Clementi's not scared to go ahead and try to hit a submission. He's digging for Kimura right now. He's got a good spot. He's really, really strong and tight in all of his spacing. So all that energy that Aoki just wasted picking him up and sending him out on the ground did nothing to Rich. That's the biggest problem that he poses to Aoki. The other thing is he's not scared to trade on his feet, where Aoki seems to be really scared still to trade on his feet.
In his last 5 fights, Aoki has had 4 first-round submission wins. He subbed Lyle Beerbom in just 1 minute 33. Yokthai Sitoha in just 1 minute. Kawajiri in 1 minute 53 with a beautiful Achilles lock. And Hirota, as I said, a first-round 2 minutes 17 at Dynamite 2009, where he broke Hirota's arm.
You know, unfortunately, the way that Aoki wants this to go, he wants it to be on the ground because that's his style. So what he's going to do is he'll slow the pace down. He's really going to make sure that this stays on the ground as much as he can, which kind of makes for a little bit of a slower pace fight, which is unfortunate because Rich will do really well if he can get his hands going and get his body moving with a little separation from him and Aoki. But as you can see right now, Aoki is just so tight, there's no space for Rich to go anywhere.
Let's not forget that Clementi was given only 2 weeks' notice to prepare for this contest. He failed to make weight on his first try, made it on the second attempt. It was actually originally looked like it was going to be Antonio McKee versus Shinya Aoki, but then that fell apart with several rumors surrounding as to why. We're not exactly quite sure what the final story was on that.
Along with perhaps a half a dozen other names that were thrown about.
You can always rely on No Love Rich Clementi to step up to the plate. Clementi comes in off of a loss to Rezi Madani at Superior Challenge 7 on April 30th. That was over in Stockholm, Sweden. Before that, had a win over Josh Hinkle at the Road Warrior Championships in El Paso, Texas. But he's been very inconsistent in recent fights. He's gone 2-3 in his last 5, 6-4 in his last 10.
You know, I think Rich is one of those guys that has so much other things going on. He runs his own gym down there in Louisiana, and he really, you know, has expanded into the sport of being able to train and teach other guys. He's a great coach. I think that's a big distraction to him. It doesn't allow him to train as hard, as diligently as he needs to get ready for these fights.
Aoki, a little bit of ground and pound here from the mount position, just raining down with the right hand here on No Love Rich Clementi. Right in front of Clementi's corner. Referee keeping a close eye on it here. Clementi's got to defend or get out of there.
He's got to move. Aoki's doing a good job of holding on to that top wrist so he can't turn over.
Aoki is so dangerous, and this guy is just evil, isn't he, Hans? He is nasty. I think Aoki, when he's got an opponent on the canvas, genuinely likes to hurt people. We've seen it in the past several times.
He definitely has no compunction about breaking an arm or a leg if he gets a hold of it.
Unanswered blows here off the right hand from Aoki. They may not be tremendously powerful, but they will accumulate damage to the face and temple of Rich Clementi. And they do not look good to the judges nor the center referee, Frank.
No, not at all. I mean, this is scoring and judging, you know, going all the way for Aoki right now. Rich is in a big hole right here. And the way he's got him pinned up, it's almost like a big brother holding on his little brother, where he's just sitting on him, holding that wrist, not letting him do anything. And kind of just total domination. It does not bode well for Rich Clementi, at least at this point.
We've been talking tonight about the veterans who have long served the world of mixed martial arts. Clementi is among them. Made his pro debut back in 1999. Back on the geniusly named show, Stomp in the Swamp.
Back in the day when it first started, there was some really strange names out there.
And still, Aoki continues to pound away with the right hand, but just not a lot of mustard behind these shots.
Well, he's not really looking to do any kind of damage other than to get Rich to lift his head up or make a bad mistake in his motion so that he can go ahead and put a choke in. That's all that Aoki's really looking for in this spot. Everything he does, Aoki does, is for a submission attempt. That's all he's trying to do.
Clementi just stuck with nowhere to go at the moment, forced to cover up. What does the referee do you think here, Frank? Did he just continue to allow Aoki just to pound away like this? I mean, as we said, they're ineffective punches. He's looking to set up something else, which is a choke of Clementi, but it's not happening.
I know, really, at this position, you know, if you consider that Rich is able to continue to fight, he's totally fine, Just call it a stall, stand him back up, start over again, because his position is not going to change.
Clementi in his corner complaining that Aoki is hitting him in the back of the head, which does seem to be the case, but then again, Clementi's doing nothing in response here.
Punches like a girl.
Oh, and Clementi saying he punches like a girl.
Kind of looks like it, though. He kind of looks like he's punching like a girl. And not a Julie Kensett, Gina Carano girl, like a girl that really knows how to punch. Just trying to clarify that.
Anytime you take 100 unanswered punches like this and you can still say he hits like a girl, yeah, maybe he hits like a girl.
He may hit like a girl, but if he gets the opportunity, Rich, you better be careful. Choke you out.
Yeah, I did a quick tally here. Serious injuries. He's inflicted at least 4 with his submissions. Alvarez, Kawajiri, Hirota, and of course Keith Wisniewski back in Shuto.
I think the worst one, though, would have to be Hirota, Dynamite 2009. I mean, that was just hard to watch, Hans.
It was it broke his humerus, which is extremely hard to break and can be a fatal break, actually.
It may be the humorous, Frank, but there's nothing funny about it.
It's not my fault. I'm good.
And still Aoki from this position we've been in for a long time here in the first round.
We can hear Clementi underneath. He's like, it's not my fault. I'm good. He just punched me in the arm. Like, what do you want from me? I can't do anything, but he's not doing any damage. He keeps talking back to the ref, let him know he's okay. So, let it continue as far as I'm concerned at this point.
And now the referee says break. There was a momentary stall. And good work by the referee to jump in. Gives a yellow card to Clementi.
For what? Wow, that was kind of a strange yellow card because he was in a position where he couldn't do anything and Aoki couldn't finish. It was all on Aoki in that position to do anything.
Aoki shoots in. Clementi sprawls out here. Single leg from Aoki. Can he get Clementi down again? The former police officer, Shinya Aoki. And puts Clementi on his back. Inside the half guard, Aoki. Oh, Aoki's doing that old trick where he ties up the legs with a triangle, Frank. We've seen it many times before.
Yeah, that's what Kawajiri does it a lot, too. And it's one of the most scary positions when all of a sudden somebody steps over on a low mountain, figure fours your legs, and you can't do anything. You can't turn left or right. You can't really go into him. The only way you can go is go into him. You can't even back out.
Frank, is there any other grappler in the world of mixed martial arts that has as many options at his disposal on the ground as does Shinya Aoki?
No, there isn't. Like, Aoki can submit you with his legs, with his hands, with his feet. He's got chokes.
And he's inventive.
Yeah, that's the thing, too, that's really surprising. When he gets a go-go plata from the top, he's on top of you, throws his leg over and go-go plows you from the top. That's the guy that's thinking outside the box, and he's always looking for a new way to get a new kind of submission. And, his nickname is the flying submissions master or whatever.
Yep.
So he's one of those guys that will invent something new and then try the next fight. Like, he's not scared to try new stuff in the middle of a competition. And as a result, but on the reverse side, you're not going to find anybody that's so good at MMA, but so bad at striking, and so bad at, if he got against another wrestler, his takedowns for wrestling are really poor. So it's a question of, he's really superior in one aspect, but really inferior in the other 2 aspects of the game.
Hans, how did the fans here in Japan respond after Aoki said at the press conference, tomorrow I fight for myself only, despite the Fight for Japan theme? How did that go down?
Well, there hasn't been a lot of time for blowback there, but really that was a response to the criticism that he got for saying that he was going to represent Japan and then basically getting beaten back to Japan after fighting in the United States.
With a minute remaining here in the first round, it has been domination by Shinya Aoki. And you've got to wonder what Clementi can possibly do should this one go to the second round to try and counter the work rate and the expertise on the ground of Aoki that is just all over Clementi at the moment. I mean, Clementi himself is a very good submission stylist. 19 of his 40 wins via submission.
Make no bones about it. Clementi is a very worthy opponent. He's very diligent. As of late, he hasn't been able to dedicate himself to full-time fighting like he should because of his school and what have you. But if he gets back to his feet and keeps Aoki away from shooting on him, he's got a good shot of putting Aoki down with some peppering shots. The problem is right now, every time he throws a big haymaker, Aoki dips underneath it and goes right for the takedown. Aoki doesn't care if he gets the takedown or not. He just wants to scramble to end up on the ground, which is what's been happening so far this the first round.
Final 10 seconds of the opening round. It's been all Aoki. And we go to the towels. Aoki in control. He's hardly raised a sweat here. The referee did issue a yellow card for inactivity to Rich Clementi, which, as Frank said, was perhaps not deserving, as there was nowhere really he could go.
when you got a guy sitting on you, has your arm tied up, he's completely got hips down and flattened out, and he's punched you 100 times, but you're still talking to the ref and nothing's happening. There's an issue with the guy on top isn't doing enough to finish the fight. With the guy on the bottom, he's kind of stuck. He can't really move that far. If he's just pinned there, you got to kind of give him some space, you know? And this is part of the problem with Richie he's been having right now, is that once he gets his hips sucked in, Aoki just kind of crushes him and steps into his full mount. He's got to keep this fight on the feet. You know, Clementi cannot allow Aoki to take him down again if he wants to win this fight.
What are your thoughts here, Frank? Does it go the full distance, or does Aoki finish Clementi in the second, or does Clementi find a knockout blow?
Well, the way what we've been seeing so far, if I have to go off of the past history, the first 10-minute first round, the 5-minute second round is going to be no different. It's going to be Aoki waiting for Clementi to throw a big punch, take him down on the ground, and kind of ground and pound him without so much grinding, because you're looking for that submission that he won't get. It's going to have to go in the full distance with at least in my opinion, right now, Aoki winning the decision.
A bit of a slap and a tickle from Aoki's corner. First to emerge off his stool. Clementi soaking up some last-minute instructions from his team, and he needs it. But you do have to give it up to Rich Clementi, as I said, coming in only 2 weeks' notice, coming to Japan, fighting Aoki in his backyard. It's a big effort, big ask. Second and final round will be 5 minutes long.
Aoki's corner telling him to be aware of the distance.
Takes the back standing, hooks up that right leg of Clementi.
Looks like that's Ryo Chonin in his corner there too.
It did? Okay, it did look like it too, I wasn't sure.
I wanted to get another look at him too.
The thing with Ryo Chonin, always looks like God gave him 5 teeth too many.
His nickname is the Piranha in Japan.
That explains a lot.
And the sad thing is that obviously it's a play on his teeth, but I don't think he gets the joke, because he loves the nickname so much.
So here we are again, tied up in the neutral corner. Aoki taking the back here of Rich Clementi. A long time to be in this position remaining for Aoki to find a sub. And how does Clementi possibly get out of this situation?
Got to turn into him, get his shoulders back on the mat, try to clear out that hook on his hips. He's back in the same spot again. We're just getting rain blows down on him.
Ooh, Aoki posts up on the left arm, drops the elbow off the right arm. And again, Clementi forced to cover up as Aoki just peppers away, looking to sink the choke. It's like a demented game of Twister right now. And in these situations, Aoki always seems to come up trumps. Look at that. Elbows below the shoulder, top of the rib cage. Aoki's got that triangle just locked on around the body. And he'll try and sink the choke again. How calm he is, Aoki. It's just a master craftsman going to work here. You feel, Frank, you really do, that it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, he's kind of slowly sinking stuff in. He's slowly getting to it. Now Clementi's locked down, completely flat. He's got to move. And this is what Aoki wants. He wants you trying to make mistakes to get out of his striking position so he can go ahead and put a submission onto you. The body triangle's locked in there nice and tight. He's getting everything exactly where he wants it. See, he's starting to stick the arm across now.
He's going to crank away here, Aoki. Yes! He locks out moisture, seals in freshness. Good night, Irene.
Wow, that was really good. He got it in. It wasn't a rear naked choke so much, it was a neck crank. He got that body triangle on, was able to squeeze the lungs, the lower half of the stomach so he can't breathe. At the same time, he's turning that head and shuts everything down. Great position by Aoki. Once again, showing why he wants to keep it on the ground and why he doesn't really need to expand his striking ability, because everyone he's fighting right now, he's able to submit.
Shinya Aoki adds submission win number 18 to his record in 28 victories. It is a fantastic submission ratio for the Tobikan Juda, the master of flying submissions. Here we go again, Frank.
Yeah, great position. See, he's got the head turn. He's got the hips in. He actually not squeezing with his hips as hard as he could have. He could have been really pushing his hips forward and pulling that head back at the same time as cranking it. What a great position for Aoki. And, you know, like I said, he's a master at submissions, and that's why he doesn't need to worry about his striking. He's going to catch on the ground at some point.
For Rich Clementi, his record now goes to 40-20-1. A tough fight for Clementi. But as I said, a brave effort to take it on only 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world.
2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice against one of the best lightweights in the world. 2 weeks' notice again
Dream fight for Japan at the Saitama Super Arena. We're about to hear from Shinya Aoki.
Thank you very much for coming today.
本当ね、まあ俺が言うと薄っぺらいんだけど、ここに集まってくれて格闘技愛してくれて本当にありがとう。
Thank you very much for coming and for continuing to support MMA.
本当に本気だよでも本気
Thank you very much, really, really.
ドリームに一つだけお願いがある。
I just have one request to Dream.
もっともっと強い外人呼んできて。
Please bring some stronger foreigners to fight me.
俺もいつか行くから。今日はご来場だけ誠にありがとうございました。
I'm also going to go and fight overseas again.
あとついでに今田も頑張ってね。
And also, good luck to Imanari.
皆様、青木選手に今一度盛大な拍手をお願いいたします。
So Shinya Aoki wants the big names both here and abroad. And folks, more to come from Fight for Japan, the Saitama Super Arena on HDNet.
Yamamoto Atsushi vs Tokoro Hideo.
We are ready for semi-final number 1 of the Bantamweight Grand Prix between Hideo Tokoro and Atsushi Yamamoto. Tokoro, whose record now stands at 28, 23-1, 17 via submission after defeating Yoshiro earlier tonight.
60.7 キロ。Yamamoto
Atsushi Yamamoto with Kid Yamamoto in the corner. 15-6-1 record now after defeating Yasaku Nakamura in the quarterfinals. Who do you like for this one, Frank?
This was a tough one for me to call. You know, I'm gonna go on a limb and say Tokoro right now. I'm gonna go with Tokoro because he seemed to be so good in the quarterfinals. Let's see if he can't put it together now in the semis.
Yamamoto, an accomplished wrestler, wrestled at Yamanashi Gakuen University with Kid Yamamoto. Despite having both same names, they are not related. Round number 1, Michael Chavello, Frank Trigger, the Hanslater, Hans Thompson with you. 10-minute first round, 5-minute second round. Yamamoto wearing the wrestling boots. A lot of movement early on here from Atsushi Yamamoto. Tokoro, we saw his striking rapidly improved in that quarterfinal win over Maeda. Yamamoto, who 11 of his 14 wins via judge's decision. So not a big finisher as he just evades the inside thigh kick from Tokoro.
It's that typical Japanese wrestling style where they're going to beat you up, take you down, ground and pound you, beat you up, and hold you down. But won't find a way to really finish the fight. Kid Yamamoto was really the only Japanese fighter that had that ability where not only could he take you down, hold you down, and beat you up, but he could finish you because he had such powerful strikes on his feet.
Atsushi Yamamoto had a long layoff after breaking his hand, had to undergo 2 surgeries to repair it because he started training again before it was fully healed. And he says that fighting here tonight is like a fresh start, or as he said at yesterday's press conference, a second debut. You're seeing Tokoro use the jab and the cross effectively so far. Inside thigh kick, nice and high on that femoral profunda. He's circling to his right, which is the way he wants to go, into the left hand of Yamamoto. Although, as we said, Yamamoto not a big finisher, especially not with the hands. Yamamoto, who's beaten Hideo Tokoro in the past. And just still a feeling out process here in the first round. Probing with the jab is Tokoro. A lot of head movement from Yamamoto. Tokoro sits behind the jab and throws the jab too nicely as Yamamoto went downstairs. I like the straight line punching.
Yeah, Tokoro is so much taller. You know, he's got such a reach advantage. He should go ahead and try to use that length. Everything straight and long and lengthy in front of him to go ahead and keep Yamamoto out of his way. The closer you get Yamamoto into your system, the quicker he's going to be able to take you down. And that's the problem with him. You want to keep him away from you as much as you can.
Tokoro, who just recently got married to a former model, says his wife is a huge help since he can now concentrate on training while she takes care of the housework and cooking. Oh, nothing like a traditional relationship.
Wish I had one of those.
It's come a long way since the days they didn't even have a bathroom in his apartment, though.
Now he's got a former model cooking his dinners and cleaning his house, along with the other benefits, of course. Inside fire kick from Tokoro. Again, nice and high on that lead flag. Double jab. He's moving well here, Tokoro. Also opened his own gym recently, Hans. The reversal gym, Musashi Kosugi Tokoro Plus. One of the longest gym names I've ever heard.
Well, it's affiliated with Reversal Gym, but it also has the name of where it is, and wanted to fit his own name in there too. So
now there was a cut sustained in the quarterfinal bout against Maeda over the right eye that seemed to have opened up again here in the first round against Yamamoto. He thought about a jumping knee, didn't commit to it, and Yamamoto took advantage. Oh, Tokoro melts him! Look at the speed! He's trying to get for the armbar.
Yeah, he's going right to it. Great position. He's put himself into a triangle spot now. I'm pretty amazed because he really wasn't looking to do any of this before. And now, all of a sudden, he saw the opening, was able to jump right to it. He's got it pretty deep. Yamamoto's in full defense mode right now.
The transition, the speed, the tenacity of Hideo Tokoro is phenomenal. He throws the legs up again, trying to secure the armbar. Can he make it his 18th submission win?
Wow, that was really close. For those of you that don't understand jiu-jitsu too much, that was a really tight armbar. Yamamoto had to pull all the stops out to get his arm to slide out. You notice he didn't jerk it out very quickly because it would have extended. He took his time and slid it out slowly, so all of a sudden Yamamoto's back in top, but he's in full guard, but with his arm still intact.
Yamamoto back to his feet. Tokoro in control so far, almost halfway through the opening round.
Now that cut opened up on the top of Tokoro's eye. That's from that headbutt he did earlier. You got to be careful with these, 2 fights in one night kind of things. And they're great for us as fans, but as fighters, they're tough. You have to try to get out unscathed because now that cut could become a problem as this fight wears on. He keeps getting hit in it. All of a sudden, the doctors are coming to take a look at it. He might have to stop the fight off a cut that happened in a previous fight.
Dropping body shot from Yamamoto, then goes upstairs. You can see Yamamoto targeting that eye with the jab. Perhaps what he wants to do, though, is, well, not get kicked to the groin, but he wants to maybe hook the punch instead of jab to the eye of Tokoro. He may have more success. Tokoro's been striking the groin region a fair bit tonight. We saw him drop a right hand to the groin against Maeda in their quarterfinal match.
Well, that one you can't blame on him. That was really his fault. Maeda was defending himself and caught the arm and redirected it into his own groin. So he didn't really. This one though, this kick straight up. This is a misplaced. I mean, I don't know where he's thinking, where he thought that kick was going to go. I mean, that was all foot right to. How do you say, Michael? John Smalls?
To the John Smalls. Yeah. He cut the pie up the center with that one. But Yamamoto looks like he's okay to go on here.
Or as they say in Japan, the weak spot.
We were talking earlier on, just straying a little bit here about Kyokushin Karate and Masoyama. And one of the ways that the Kyokushin guys, the old school guys, protect themselves from groin strikes, they develop the ability to tuck their testicles into the cavity of their body. So they're actually not there.
That's a good way to do it, or just wear a cup. There's the way that I like to do it.
Given the amount of groin shots we see in Japanese MMA, maybe they ought to keep doing that.
Cavity tucking could become the new craze. Under 5 minutes remaining here in the first round. And Tokoro looking fast with the hands, both men looking very nice on the feet.
I wonder how quick it's going to be a trend on Twitter, cavity tucking.
Now, I wonder if maybe Yamamoto heard me before that groin shot, because he's thrown a left hook to the eye of Tokoro, and now he jabs at it. It's definitely a target for Yamamoto to try and open up here. See, he's hooking it, whereas he wasn't before.
Very smart, trying to come around the side, open it up a little bit more.
What he should do is throw an outside thigh kick, redirect Tokoro's attention downstairs, then snap that left hook. It's a good competitive fight so far as Tokoro drops the right hand to the breadbasket, belly button through the back, outside thigh kick, and just missed with the shin and instep and clipped him with the toes.
That looks like that was that same punch that hit Maeda in the weak spot there.
Ooh, right hand lead from Tokoro. jab from Yamamoto.
Nice thing is counter kicks off. Every time that Yamamoto steps in with that heavy jab, he takes a little step back so it misses and it kicks him on the inside thigh. See if he keeps going to it.
Shoots in and Tokoro sprawls nicely. Stuffs the takedown. Tremendous amount of respect between these two men. More than 43 wins between them. A lot of experience here on the ring. The chance to become the Dream Bantamweight Grand Prix champion, move into the final, which, as Hans told us, will occur in July, we believe. It's looking like maybe at the Ariake Coliseum.
They announced earlier July 16th.
It is all official. Good jab there from Yamamoto. He threads it through the double forearms. And look at the head movement, changing levels here, Yamamoto. Not remaining a stagnant target for Tokoro getting his own hands off. You know, Tokoro had his way pretty much in the striking with Maeda in the quarterfinal, not so here with Yamamoto.
Yeah, no, Yamamoto's giving back as much as he's getting. And he still has the threat of the takedown on top of it. So if he gets hit, Yamamoto will just take him down.
Jumping knee! Tokoro getting airborne, changing it up a little. Nice evasion, got on the inside of the jab there, did Yamamoto. Inside thigh kick from Tokoro. Caught him with a shin on that one, nice thug. Which is, if you're throwing those Thai-style kicks, you want to be connecting with the shin, with the instep, not with the top of the foot or with the toes. Shoots in for a double. Yamamoto still can't effect a takedown.
Wow, Tokoro, good wrestling defense. Able to keep him off. That was a good shot by Yamamoto. It was deep and tight. His head was in the right position. His arms were caught right behind the knees and still got shrugged off.
Second jab connected between the eyes of Tokoro. 1 minute remaining here in the first round. Ooh, there was a chance there to pull the head down and launch the right knee for Yamamoto, but it went astray. I'm more impressed in the second half of this first round, Frank, by Atsushi Yamamoto.
And me as well. It's a very difficult round to call, but as of right now, in the next 30 seconds, if something drastic happens, I think that Yamamoto is actually winning this fight to this point.
Right hand lead and a hook from Tokoro, outside thigh kick, an exclamation mark on the combination. It's good to see some nice straight line punches, leg kicks, very good stand-up work here. Fakes the inside leg kick, Tokoro. Into the first round, we go to the towers.
Wow. Yeah, you know, if you asked me the first couple of minutes, I would have said totally this is definitely Tokoro's fight, but right now I think Yamamoto's won that round.
Folks, the second round when we return to the Saitama Super Arena in Japan. It's Tokoro Yamamoto here on HDNet. Dream fight for Japan, semi-final of the Bantamweight Grand Prix. As we see Atsushi Yamamoto, his right foot being given some attention here by Kid Yamamoto. Frank, did you ever wear the wrestling boots yourself, the wrestling shoes in MMA?
Yeah, back when I first started, I did. You know, and then I decided, I think after the Paul Herrera fight, I think I never wore wrestling shoes again. Because of heel hooks, it's so easy to get to a heel hook if you've got somebody with shoes on. You know, there's so much more to grab onto. So I stopped wearing them. You know, it was great for traction when you're striking, but you're trying to do takedowns and, you know, grappling games, and I wasn't very proficient at grappling. You always had to worry about heel hooks and knee bars.
Jumping knee here from Tokoro. Yamamoto ending up inside Tokoro's guard as Tokoro tried to put the armbar on. To no avail. Tokoro looking for the 18th submission of his career. Nice round kick high on the thigh, the lead leg of Yamamoto. A very hard round to call though, Frank. First half of the round I thought was Tokoro. Second half of the round was Yamamoto.
I agree. So, you know, like he said here in this, they judge the entire fight. The next 5 minutes determines who's going to win this fight.
It is still anyone's for the taking. The chance to go through to the first ever final of the Dream Bantamweight Grand Prix. Hans, how is Kid Yamamoto being received in Japan at the moment following his stint over at UFC?
You know, I mean, he's talking about trying to compete in the Olympics and stuff. He was kind of once the great hope for Japanese MMA himself, but there really hasn't been a lot of chatter about him, especially after that performance in the UFC.
And Tokoro comes out kicking 3 kicks to the outside lead thigh of Yamamoto. It's all point scoring for Tokoro, double right hand. Found the target on the first, missed the second. Shoots in for a takedown, nice sprawl from Yamamoto. And this one has opened up at a cracking pace.
Good position, good change by both guys. Yamamoto now in a nice deep single, just holding on. Oh, he got out of it. Now he's getting his back taken. This is a bad spot for Yamamoto with Tokoro on his back like this.
Tokoro going to work hard and nasty. First 40 seconds of the second round. As we said, it's still wide open for anyone to take it. I really do like Tokoro at 61 kilograms, Frank.
Yeah, it seems a lot better. It seems a little bit faster and a lot stronger at this weight class. Great rollover, right back into that Kimura spot, looking for a triangle now. He's doing a great job of reversing positions, changing his game up. He's really confusing Yamamoto. Yamamoto right now is going to a wrestling kind of, I need to hold on to him and get him over in a breath position.
Shots to the body, then up to the head from Yamamoto off the left hand. Tokoro pulling the head down to not allow him to posture up and work the ground and pound. Banging away here, but nothing really effective for Atsushi Yamamoto. Tokoro throws those legs up momentarily. Yamamoto looking for the hammer fist strike off the left. There's Kid Yamamoto in the corner of Atsushi. Posts up on that left arm, back to his feet now, Yamamoto, and he gets back to center ring. He is going to invite Tokoro to stand and trade with him. A wise move, Frank?
No. Now we've seen so far from this round. It's definitely not a wise move. We're definitely going to see what happens. Maybe Yamamoto sees something that we didn't see. He's able to start exploiting, get ready to get his hands going.
What I really like about Tokoro here in the second so far are the leg kicks. And look how he checks the rear leg round kick of Yamamoto. Thought about the jumping knee. Fakes does Yamamoto. Tokoro should go back to that lead thigh. Tokoro sitting back here, not initiating.
You saw this in his first fight, in the first round. He really didn't do much. He's kind of sitting there waiting, kind of see what's going on. I think he might believe that he's winning this fight so tremendously and kind of take a break right now. We'll see what he does in the next 30 seconds or so.
There's the leg kick from Tokoro. A resounding thud again here at the Saitama Super Arena. Gets out of the way of the jab. Yamamoto backing him up here. Clash of leg kicks. It was Tokoro who drew the short straw. 1 minute 40 remaining. I still believe it's anyone's fight here. Inside thigh kick from Yamamoto.
Yeah, either guy can steal his fight still.
Outside thigh kick from Tokoro. Leg kicking game here in the second round. And it's time for one of these men to pull out all the stops, to go kleptomaniac and steal this fight. In the final 60 seconds. We're on the ground yet again. Yamamoto takes the back. Drives Tokoro to the ropes. What can he do from here, Frank?
Well, Tokoro's got a good Kimura lock on him right now. You have to see if he can't flip him over and end up on top, trying to get his hands broken. Yamamoto needs to try to lift Tokoro up, put him on the ground. Wrong side. A good job holding on by Yamamoto. He was on the wrong side when he took him down. His arm was completely exposed.
Hammer fist strike from Tokoro. It's a mess of arms and legs. 40 seconds remaining in this first semi-final. And listen to this place erupt. The crowd seems to be divided down the center. Half for Tokoro, half for Yamamoto. Trying to work on that left arm is Hideo Tokoro. Can he find a sub in the final 15 seconds? He's rolling, he's looking. Yamamoto now with a final opportunity to land some ground and pound. Under 10 seconds.
Both guys going for it right here. But Tokoro seems to be in the better position every time they scramble.
They're back to their feet, and that's how the fight ends. What a contest, Frank. My word, this Bantamweight Grand Prix so far is superb.
Yeah, I say Tokoro wins that fight just because he was in better position every time there was a scramble. He did such a good job in the beginning of the first round and such a good job the second half of the second round. Let's see what the judges think, because that fight was really close to call.
Who will be the first man through to the first ever Dream Bantamweight Grand Prix final? Switch up round kick from Tokoro. Yamamoto just looking to pounce at him, but Tokoro doing a good job. A lot of action in this fight. Tokoro thinks he's got it, and here we have the decision.
判定の結果をお伝えします。ジャッジトドリ、トコロ。ジャッジ大橋、山本。
H.
ジャッジ庄司、トコロ。
Split decision. Hideo Tokoro. His first time ever fighting at 61 kilograms, has won 2 fights in one night, and will be in that final July 16 at the Ariake Coliseum. Frank, he has impressed all and sundry here tonight.
What a great job. He did, perfect position. He's really stepped up with his striking game. When he finally got started, his hands looked really good. And then when he got in the scrambles here at the end of the second round, even after a second fight, he still had enough energy to continue to scramble, continue the motion, and put himself in the better spot every time the scramble's finished.
A valiant effort from Atsushi Yamamoto. Tokoro's experience, his grappling prowess, but in particular his striking tonight has just looked succulent. The leg kicks to the outside thigh in particular, a beautiful jab. Highly impressed by his striking work. And folks, still more to come from the Saitama Super Arena in Japan. You're watching Fight for Japan. We'll be back with more on HDNet.
Imanari Masakazu vs. Osawa Kenji.
Semi-final number 2 of the Bantamweight Grand Prix, Imanari versus Osawa.
169センチ、60.7 キロ。Osawa Kenji.
Osawa's record stands now at 16-9-2, 10 of his 16 wins by decision.
赤コーナー、165センチ、60.8 キロ。Imanari Masakazu.
The man with the foot fetish, the master of leg locks, Ashikan Judan, they call him. Imanari's record now 22-8-2 after beating Fujiwara earlier tonight. 13 wins via submission. He is the current deep bantamweight champion, former deep featherweight champion, looking to become the dream bantamweight Grand Prix champion. Michael Chavello, Frank Trigg, Hans Thompson with you. A little bit of damage under the eye of Osawa, but other than that, these two men are ready to go. First round 10 minutes long, and they clinch up from the get-go. Onto the ground already inside of 7 seconds.
Well, we all know Imanari's going for a heel hook, reverse heel hook. a straight knee bar or a bent knee bar. That's all he's going for. that's his mainstay. So he wants to see the ground as quickly as possible.
Locking up the shoulder here is
He's digging with his left hand. He's digging to go underneath to a knee bar if that omoplata pops off. With the knee bar.
So good at the leg locks of Imanari. He's been known to teach them to other well-known fighters, including Genki Sudo and Shinya Aoki.
In my opinion, Imanari is the most dangerous man in the world with knee bars.
When asked how he got so good at leg locks, he said, I became good at it because I couldn't pass the guard. Had to find some way to finish opponents. Certainly worked out well for him, Hans.
And that's another similarity that he has with Shinya Aoki in interviews before. When they asked him, how's he so good at finishing leg locks, particularly heel hook, he just said, I just have to, wrench it.
Makes it look so easy, does Imanari. Bit of an odd character though, isn't he, Hans? Renowned for picking his nose during interviews.
And there was that photo shoot with Aoki a while back where they were in the nurses' uniforms. And
Frank liked that photo shoot.
I got nothing for you. I got nothing.
Imanari on his back once again here.
Has there even been a strike thrown yet?
No.
Osawa hit through a couple of peppering shots, but nothing major when he first got taken down.
Ooh, Osawa almost put his fist through the canvas.
Smart on Osawa's part, trying to pass the guard, get a real quick slab in there. Jeez.
Oh, Imanari into side control. That was beautifully done by the veteran. Before tonight, it had been quite a while since Osawa had actually fought in the ring. September 2007 in Shuto was the last time. It's been the longest layoff of his career. But he did say yesterday, if I beat Otsuka and Imanari the same day, it'll be the happiest day of my life. Well, he's halfway there, having beaten Otsuka earlier on. Imanari, both arms locked up here. What does he do from here, Frank?
He's got to get his left hand free, start maneuvering. Right now, he's not really putting any pressure. You can see how Osawa was able to lift his hips off the ground. There's no pressure on him. Now, get a little position change, take his back. If you can get that other heel in, get him flattened out.
Imanari working for position, taking the back here of Kenji Osawa. The referee calling for action.
Aoki here, not exactly in Imanari's corner, but he's standing behind the corner, waving his arms and losing his mind.
Rallying for the Imanari cause, Shinya Aoki, after finding Rich Clementi easy pickings earlier on, submitting Rich in the second round. Right hand there from Osawa, trying to get a few strikes off. Ooh, nice one to the sternum. Up kick from Imanari. Slings the legs now, Osawa. Will he allow Imanari back to his feet? Will the referee do it for him?
If he's smart, this is a great position for him right here. If he can get out of the way of the up kicks, there's a good spot. He could have stayed a little more aggressive in there and kept him down there, got some more body shots in there.
Former Sengoku champ, Satoru Kitaoka over there in the corner of Imanari.
Imanari in southpaw stance, very side-on stance too. High right round from Kenji Osawa. The hands are low on Osawa. I'd like to see, I should say on Imanari, I'd like to see Osawa come over the top maybe, spring up on a left hook. Power through with that right hand, step through off the back leg. The right hand against the southpaw fighter, public enemy number one. Ooh, Imanari looking for that ankle again, Frank.
He just dives in from weird angles. I had no rhyme or reason why he would dive in there, but he knows that if he can just get a piece of that ankle, he can suck the whole thing in and get to a heel hook or a knee bar. He's very good with all of his positions.
Imanari, who's beaten the likes of George Gurgel, Mike Brown, Yoshiro Maeda. Losses to Bibiano Fernandez, Marcus Aurelio, Joachim Hansen. Osawa with wins over Maeda and Takeya Mizugaki. Among his losses, Antonio Banuelos, Scott Jorgensen, and DJ Takei. We recommence from the centre of the ring. Open guard here from Imanari with under half a round remaining, Hans.
That was pretty sneaky how he locked that up right as the referee started him, taking a little advantage of the ropes here.
Yeah, he didn't. Most guys will wait a second. Right when they restarted, he's already moving into that new lockdown. Very difficult to get set up when someone's got their arms wrapped around their own leg and will have you caught in between. So Osawa's kind of caught in a position. If he gives up too much space, he'll get caught in a submission, but if he stays down, he's going to keep getting beat up.
Very high rubber guard here for Imanari. He can turn this into a shoulder lock. Using it to control the posture of Osawa, not allowing him to get up and work some blows. Now close guard from Imanari. Osawa got the left hand free momentarily, and again, couldn't get an effective punch though to that orbital bone. Ooh, up kick from Imanari. That was fast. Just whistled past the ear. And referee says, let's do it standing. Body shot off the lead hand from Osawa. I want to see him throw the right cross. Get that lead foot to the outside of the lead foot of Imanari. Give you that right cross back. If you've got it on the inside, you'll lose that right cross. High right round kick. Ooh, a leg check from Imanari, shin on shin.
Much better job by Osawa to realize he's going to keep diving into him, trying to stay away.
Two minutes 45.
Back up, make him come up. Get your best position. Don't get done. There's drag out grappling strike from Osawa. Make him keep going back up to his feet. In the judge's mind, I want to try and make Imanari look silly. So I'll keep backing out every time he drops down on the ground. I'll back away and call him back up to his feet again. So it looks like he's diving down to the ground to avoid contact.
You see the very side-on stance again here of Imanari. What that does is it lessens the target, lessens the amount of body that the opponent can strike, because you're offering a much smaller target, the side of the body, rather than the full chest region. But also does limit your own striking, because the trajectory that your rear leg and rear hand has to take is a lot longer. A little bit of ground and pound now from Osawa.
Osawa's corner agrees with you here, Frank. They keep saying stand up every time that he's engaging him on the ground here.
The smartest position. It makes it, like I said, it makes it look bad to judges. And that's really what you want to try to do, at least at this point.
He's hunting for that Achilles again. Oh, a couple of right hands from Osawa, and the up kicks from Imanari. There's a huge welt. Now it looks like over the right eye of Imanari. That's really starting to swell up nicely. Osawa inside the guard, up on one knee. Imanari controlling him. There's sexy armor. Ringside. Who's he cheering for, Hans?
I want to say it's Osawa.
And Osawa delivering again to that damaged right eye. 3 left hands in a row. He's got some good GMP on him, hasn't he, Frank?
Yeah, he's doing a great job down here. And he's smart, too. He's keeping distance, not letting him tie up his body, not letting him tie up his arms. Every time he digs in for a leg, he immediately stands back up again. The only thing he really has to watch out for is the up kicks.
Final 20 seconds of the first round. Good stiff left hand there from Imanari. Front kick off the back leg. That's what I spoke about earlier, though. When you throw kicks like that and you're very side-on in stance, it takes a long time to reach the target. And you saw there that Osawa had plenty of time to see the front kick coming. Turning back kick, Ushidogeri. And we end with Osawa inside the guard. 1 round down. Okay, Frank, let's play Super Coach. First of all, if you're in the corner of Osawa, what are you telling him to do?
I'm in the corner of Osawa and tell him, keep No big heavy punches. They don't want any big haymakers. They don't want any big power punches. They want everything, little peppering shots. Every punch you throw, whether it's across or hook or jab, they want it all peppering because you know that Imanari is immediately going to duck underneath you and try to attack your legs, attack your ankles. Keep him peppering out, keep him peppering out. The moment that he gets underneath you, when you get to a ground and pound, hit him as hard as you can to the stomach once or to the head once. As hard as you can, throw everything behind that single strike right to the body of the head, and then get back out, make him come back up to his feet again. Force him to have to fight you on his feet where it's going to make him look silly because he's not doing anything. And if I'm Imanari, I'm going to tell him, get a half step closer, duck underneath and get those legs. You're just about a half a step away from him being able to get all the way into a leg. You've got to tie something up once you get down there. Tie up his right hand more than his left hand, because Osawa's really hitting you with his right hand a lot more than his left, and that'll allow you to dip underneath to your right side if you want to get to that leg.
A good look at the right eye. Purpled up on Kenji Osawa. Very nice shiner.
They're telling him that he's winning right now.
I have Osawa winning. What do you guys have?
I have Imanari ahead. Slightly, very, very slightly.
There's a lot of different strategies for cornermen.
Yeah, I know. It's just, what do you have ahead, Hans?
Hansen on the fence, Hans.
I think Osawa's taken this one so far, but you know, every time he engages Imanari on the ground, it's only a matter of time.
2 against 1 here in the commentary position. Final round, 5 minutes remaining. The purple trunked Kenji Osawa, the camo. And jumping flying guard pulled out from Masakazu Imanari. Imanari controlling the back of the head here of Osawa, because we did see the glimpses of the very impressive ground and pounding from Osawa in the first round, as we saw also in his quarterfinal win earlier on tonight. But as you said, Hans, a debated quarterfinal victory.
You know, anytime it goes to decision.
Osawa says get up, and Imanari says I'm there. High left round kick from Osawa. Oh, Imanari just telegraphed hook. He's down to the ground, going to work now on the right leg of Osawa. That's good night, Irene! Out of nowhere, he got him, Frank.
Just like that, and I said, you know, get a half step closer, and I saw the ref put his hand up, signaling that he got a legit catch. I was just going to say when you got done talking like that, look, he's got a legit catch here. We might see the end of this fight. The fight didn't get it out of my mouth, the fight was over. I mean, that's the thing about Imanari. No matter what you do, no matter where you're at, he's always in this fight. He does some silly stuff, he jumps guard and all this crap. You're like, well, this isn't going to work. And then all of a sudden, he does it one time. He finally slides in, grabs a hold of that heel. He's able to finish off with a nice twisting heel hook. I mean, amazing. He is by far and away the most dangerous man when it comes to any kind of leg attack from a grappling standpoint. By far and away, Imanari is the most dangerous man in MMA today.
Imanari telegraphed the hook, goes to ground, locks it on, and taps out Kenji Osawa. We are set for a blockbuster final in July. Tokoro versus Imanari. And what a way for Japanese Mixed Martial Arts 2011 to finally kick off. Imanari, his 14th submission in his 23rd victory. That is a phenomenal ratio. That's why they call him the Ashikan Judan, master of leg locks. Let's take a look at the bantamweight tournament. How does panned out? Osawa losing to Imanari. Tokoro over Yamamoto. It will be Tokoro versus Imanari, July 16 at the Ariake Coliseum for the championship. What a fight that will be. 2 submission specialists. Earlier on tonight, folks, Joachim Hansen defeated Mitsuhiro Ishida by a split decision in a great fight. Leon Takeshi defeated Matsumoto by a TKO at 6 minutes 51 of the first round. Caol, in maybe his last fight ever, defeated Wiki Nishiura. Katsunori Kikuno over Daisuke Nakamura by unanimous decision. And Shinya Aoki, vicious and delicious as always, a second round face crank submission of No Love Rich Clementi. What a fantastic night to kick off the Japanese mixed martial arts scene of 2011. Emotions ran high here tonight. Frank, for you, what was the highlight?
You know, it's finally good to be back, you know, over in Japan and actually have the Japanese fights start going again. Of course, we're so used to seeing one a month, and now, unfortunately, here we are already in June before we actually have the first one. We have another one coming up next month in July. It'll be great. Hopefully, we can get back together so we can go all the way through and do our tradition of spending New Year's on one of the great shows over in Japan.
Hans, a very early call. Who do you think the fans will go for quickly? Will they be behind Imanari or Tokoro more?
You know, Imanari is another guy that pisses a lot of people off. I'm going to say they're behind Tokoro.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed all the action here on HDNet from the Dream Fight for Japan. From Michael Chavello, Frank Trigg and Hans Thompson, it's good night.